What's up, soccer fans? Thank you for hanging out with us today for Manchester United against Fulham. What a game we have in store this afternoon, this evening, this morning, the middle of the night, wherever it is that you are watching from. We appreciate you being here. Please take a second to hit that like button down below. Let's get more Manchester United fans here to Sons of a Pitch Soccer Central, your home of everything Manchester United. Make sure to check out True's MUFC Central episode that aired last night, as well as some EAFC gameplay. And don't forget, if you play EAFC, make sure to DM True at TrueKiller_ on Discord and Twitter, and have him change your team and your rewards to the craziest things you've ever seen. You want to get rank 1 rewards? I had never, ever gotten rank 1 rewards until I DM True and he started working on our team. Now we do it every week. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hitting that like button. Subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you in the chat. Let's go, MUFC.
SiriusXM NFL Radio brings you the sights and sounds of all the festivities. Friday night at 7 Eastern with Pro Bowl Live. Amber Theo Harris and Kurt Morrison get exclusive interviews with players from the AFC and NFC on NFL Radio Channel 88 in the car and on the SiriusXM app.
Every Thursday at 6 Eastern.
I'd like to just talk a little bit about college basketball.
Join Hall of Fame coach Mike Krzyzewski for Basketball and Beyond on SiriusXM College Sports Radio. Hear conversations from all sports and beyond.
Marcus Freeman, Peyton Manning, Don Staley.
Plus, hear Coach K's unique perspective on the biggest stories in college basketball.
There's not an off night in that league.
Don't miss Basketball and Beyond with Coach K. Thursdays at 6 Eastern on SiriusXM College Sports Radio, Channel 84, and on the SiriusXM app.
It's soccer's most thrilling league.
Only the Premier League can make you feel like this.
And now every match is on the SiriusXM app.
Can you believe it?
From the title race.
This is remarkable. Keeps this title charge on track, surely.
To the relegation fight.
The impossible may still be possible.
Hear every English Premier League match on the SiriusXM app and talk about all the EPL drama on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SiriusXM app.
Be a lifeline for Southern California by supporting the Red Cross wildfire relief effort. The American Red Cross is on the front lines, providing emergency shelter, food, water, and medical support to those affected. Together, we can make a difference. To donate, please visit redcross.org, call 1-800-RED-CROSS, or text CA Wildfires to 90999. That's redcross.org, 1-800-RED-CROSS, or text CA Wildfires to 90999.
I'm anchoring myself to hope.
Be inspired with Joel Osteen Radio.
I just love Joel. He's the best, you know. I learn so much from him all the time.
No, it's just very uplifting.
It's time to say this is a new day. I've been anchored to that junk long enough.
And when you are encouraged, you can do anything.
Promotion is coming. Healing is coming. Breakthroughs are coming.
Your life will never be the same.
Be inspired with Joel Osteen Radio. SiriusXM 128 and on the SiriusXM app.
Rich Wolfenden, Rufus Brevitt is sat alongside me, and we'll talk to Rufus in just a moment after we've heard from the two managers, Marco Silva and Ruben Amorim.
Our target is clear to finish on the top half of the table, definitely as well. We want to be first half of the table, and of course when you are there, you have many different things to fight for.
I'm a young guy, and sometimes I make a mistake, and that's why I don't talk about after the game. This game, I needed to talk. And maybe it was a mistake, and then I get more nervous and go to the conference really nervous, and then you say things that you shouldn't say, and that's it. You have to look really hard to find the team of Manchester United in 10 games that lose 7 games. And that is on me, because it's the same players doing worse with a new coach. That's my only concern in the moment. But sometimes it's really hard to hide the frustration in some moments. But the good thing is that I said the same things in a different way in the dressing room 5 minutes before. So the response was quite normal, because I'm really blunt with my players.
We know each other, okay. We are from the more or less the same area, and of course when you are in football, you know, it's easy to start to create relationship with people that is around you and come from there really. I'm a little bit older, but we had some moments in different clubs as a football professional players, and of course after a normal relationship between two professionals.
We are lucky to have a player like Bruno Fernandes. Sometimes he made mistakes, like me in the last week, but he's really important, and he has passion, and this is so important to be a football player.
Yeah, Ruben Amorim very much relying on Bruno Fernandes in midweek, as he did here at Craven Cottage last season in the Premier League, where he scored the winning goal at Craven Cottage. And Rufus Brevet, 5 years ago this month, Bruno Fernandes signed for Manchester United, and he's still the guy for goals, isn't he, for Manchester United?
Yeah, he is. Is your go-to player, isn't he? You know, his performances have been up there. They've not really dropped. And obviously with Ahmed coming into the side as well, you look at both of them players and you know what you're going to get from them.
Well, absolutely. You know, Diallo's the top scorer in the Premier League this season with 6 goals, and it's Fernandes behind him, Rashford, who's still MIA. On the point of Rashford, now that, you know, it looks like he's moving on to pastures new. We've seen today that Højlund's come into the squad. He's going to really have to step up, isn't it? Only 2 goals all season in the Premier League. Yeah, he has, and again, he's someone that came in with high expectations, big money, and he's not quite delivered the goals that I'm sure that was expected of him. So, yeah, he's back in today, and it's a big game for him today. I heard Ali McCoist in midweek on commentary of the European game that he believes that Højlund is the better option to Joshua Zirkzee. Would you believe that?
I've seen a little bit of Zirkzee. I tend to agree with him. I think there is a player there in Højlund. And I think the system benefit him? We'll have to wait and see. But he needs to get service. Any good striker needs service.
Absolutely. Well, he should, in theory, have some service around him today with the starting 11s. And speaking of service, Fulham have probably one of the best fullbacks for that in the Premier League. You know, Ruben Amorim likes to play with very attacking fullbacks, and Anthony Robinson, by far and away, one of the finest in the league at the moment. Yeah, definitely, he's fantastic, and I think he's a fullback that he can defend as well. And when he goes forward, he gets into the final third, he more than readily delivers. And you know, he's been very, very good this season, Anthony Robinson. And when he goes forward, Bassi just slips across, and he knows he's got the cover behind. They're a well-oiled machine, aren't they, Fulham? And they're going to have to be against the Ruben Amorim side. And, you know, under the lights at Craven Cottage, I know it's a bit of a late Sunday night, so there might be a few yawners perhaps in the crowd, but this has got the potential to be a really good atmosphere and a really good game. I think it will be a really, really good football match. You know, Manchester United have not been great of late, but, you know, I'm sure Amorim's going to get his message across, and it's going to be a good game of football today. Yeah, Manchester United starting this game 14th in the table after West Ham picked up that point against Aston Villa. I'm just looking at the Fulham lineup in front of me, and there was a lot of headlines in the summer when João Palhinha left Fulham, and now it's Sasha Lukic and Sander Berge, and they seem to be doing the job. Yeah, I mean, Berger, I liked him when he was at Sheffield United, and he's come in and he's just literally just taken over that midfield berth, and he's been very, very good. He's big, gangly, he likes to tackle, and Lukic as well, exactly the same, a great partnership in there. And when you look at the Manchester United midfield in comparison, they've obviously spent a lot of money, 60 million euros on Manuel Ugarte, former PSG man, of course, and it's probably going to be Bruno Fernandes alongside him. You know, that's over £100 million worth of midfield talent, and got to be honest, the Fulham midfield duo look like they're more competent. Well, definitely. I think when you've got a midfield duo, they need to be able to play together, and when you look at the Fulham pair, you know, they're in sync with each other. Manchester United, I'm not too sure. Are you a little bit surprised that Mainoo's not starting this one today? Very, very surprised. Weather is... I'm very surprised he's not playing. Yeah, it is quite strange. And, Alejandro Garnacho is starting, and there's a lot of rumours about him moving on. Just quickly on that, obviously it's a
could possibly be a PSR reason why they're trying to get rid of, well, not trying to get rid of, but it looks like they might be moving on Alejandro Garnacho. That'll be a huge loss for the club, won't it?
I find it, I can't get my head around it. I find it, you know, mad that there was even talk of looking to sell Mainu as well. Yeah, I mean, we've got a bit of time yet. Whether he goes or not, we'll wait and see.
We shall see. The transfer deadline is the 3rd of February, a little bit later than usual this year, so keep your eyes peeled for any transfers, particularly on Alejandro Garnacho and Kobbie Mainoo. Only one of those two starts for Manchester United this evening here at Craven Cottage. We have kickoff in just 5 minutes' time. You're listening to Premier League Live.
Hear the NFL Conference Championship games on SiriusXM. Today at 3 Eastern, Jaden Daniels' Commanders face the Eagles in the NFC Championship.
Touchdown! Saquon Barkley!
Then at 6:30, it's the AFC Championship as Josh Allen's Bills take on the Chiefs.
An 11-yard touchdown! Playoff Pat to playoff Kelsey!
Find the channel numbers at SiriusXM.com/NFL schedule or search for the teams on the SiriusXM app.
The heartthrobs and the hair, the bad girls and the boy bands, plus guitars, lots of guitars. Oh, and the original MTV VJs.
Mark Goodman, Nita Blackwood, and myself, Alan Hunter.
If it was big in the 80s, it's on 80s on 8. And listen at home on Alexa, Google Home, smart TVs, and everywhere on the SiriusXM app.
Bring home more from your in-car stations with the SiriusXM app. More than 200 streaming-only channels for every at-home activity. Music for kids, pets, even plants. Sounds for better sleep, breaking a sweat, and everything in between. Just search At Home to find it all with the SiriusXM app. At home on your phone, computer, Alexa, TV, or other internet-connected devices.
Get to know the contenders for music's highest honor, from country to pop, rock to hip-hop, and beyond. The 67th Annual Grammy Awards nominees have their own SiriusXM destination, the Grammy Channel. For a limited time on SiriusXM 17. And at home on your phone, computer, Alexa, TV, or other internet-connected devices.
Join a magical mystery tour through the sounds of Beatlemania.
Here are the Beatles!
The music that changed everything and the stories behind the songs.
Every day was like living 10 years.
From Liverpool
to Abbey Road
and beyond.
I'm John. I'm Paul. I'm George. I'm Ringo.
The Beatles Channel, SiriusXM 18. And at home on your phone, computer, Alexa, TV, or other internet-connected devices.
Don't miss the dramatic conclusion of the league phase of the UEFA Champions League on SiriusXM FC. Manchester City must beat Club Brugge in order to secure a place in the knockout stage.
Haaland at the back post and a brilliant header!
Will City step up to the task or crumble under the pressure?
It just goes from horribly bad to even worse.
City versus Bruges, Wednesday at 3 Eastern on SiriusXM FC, channel 157 in the car and streaming on the SiriusXM app.
On Premier League Live with myself, Rich Wolfenden. I'll be your commentator for the next hour and a half. Alongside me is the former Fulham man, Rufus Brevett. And before we come to Rufus and before we have kickoff, whilst the FIFA Fair Play handshake takes place, I'll run you through both sides' 11s once more. Fulham unchanged from the side that beat Leicester City last weekend. Bernd Leno in goal, Anthony Robinson, Calvin Bassey, Joachim Anderson, Timothy Castagna, Sander Berger, Sasha Lukic, Alex Iwobi, Emil Smith-Rowe, Harry Wilson and Raul Jimenez complete the Fulham 11. Manchester United have named 6 changes from the side that beat Rangers in midweek. Andre Onana comes back in goal, Diogo Dalot, Lisandro Martinez, Harry Maguire, Matthias de Ligt, Nusser Mazraoui, Bruno Fernandes, Manuel Ugarte, Amad Diallo, Alejandro Garnacho, and up front, the Scandinavian Rasmus Højlund comes in for Joshua Zirkzee as he looks for his first goal in 10 appearances. Well, the atmosphere is starting to swell. Plenty of noise from the away end here on the banks of the River Thames in West London, as we see Ruben Amorim and Marco Silva, the two Portuguese coaches, of course, sharing a handshake and a respectful pat on the back. Portugal versus Portugal here in the Premier League. Anthony Taylor will be our referee this afternoon. The referee's in all black, something very traditional about that. And it's a very traditional ground here, Rufus Brevet, which you've played at plenty of times.
Yes, yeah, I was there a couple of weeks ago in the cottage watching the game against Ipswich. You know, it's an iconic ground, and that new stand they've got, very, very impressive.
Tried out the swimming pool yet?
Not yet.
No, okay.
Not yet.
Bring your swimming trunks next time.
Oh, that's right.
Well, it's Fulham who will get us underway, playing from left to right. The white shirts with the white socks and the black shorts with the racing red stripe down the side of it. Manchester United with the red shirts, their black socks and their white shorts. Fulham playing from left to right, Manchester United from right to left. And it's with Bernd Leno in the 6-yard box. Fulham very much want revenge for the defeat they suffered here last season, and that defeat they suffered on the opening weekend. You may well remember Joshua Zirkzee poking home the late winner in that game there, as Manchester United regain possession, and you can hear that away end as Andre Onana has it, and he'll be looking to bounce back from the mistake he made against Brighton and Hove Albion earlier on this month. From a goalkeeper point of view, the mental side of things is just as important as the physical side of things.
Yeah. For a goalkeeper, you know that any mistake you make is gonna end up as a goal. So yeah, they've got to be strong. Any mistakes they make, they've just got to forget about it and get on with the game.
That's exactly what happened for the third Brighton goal. Last time Manchester United played in the Premier League. As Fulham come forward here, it's Jimenez in behind, gets his shot away early, but he was way too early in making his run in behind. He makes the suggestion that he was just an inch or so in it, but it looked maybe a few hundred inches offside.
I think it was a little bit more than that. Just trying to get in behind the Manchester United back three. Goes a little bit too early, and yes, the linesman is right in line to call the offside.
Well, he was saying this week, Raul Jimenez, that he feels like he's back to his best since his skull injury.
Yeah.
Would you agree with him?
He looks it, to be fair, and when he first came back, he kind of squirmed when he went up to head a ball, but now he seems to be flying into tackles, and he looks to be back to his best when he was at Wolves.
Absolutely, 8 Premier League goals in 22 appearances for the Mexican forward, 33 years of age now. Still knows where the back of the net is. That's 2 more goals than Amad Diallo, the Manchester United top goal scorer. And in a way, he's kind of the striker that Manchester United would quite want to have.
Yeah, I agree.
Maguire goes up with Jimenez. It's a Mexican who wins it, but Bruno Fernandes is able to dispossess the Fulham number 7. Andre Onana will thump it along, right-footed, down the right-hand side of the field, looking for Diogo Dalot, who's on the right side of the Manchester United midfield today. He's going to be playing his normal role of flying fullback / winger. Amad Diallo playing the right-sided forward as well. Højlund down the middle, Garnacho to the left. Big header from De Ligt on the halfway line. Ball bounces all the way through to Sasha Lukic. Now Anthony Robinson. Manchester United sign a pretty rigid 3-4-3, I suppose you'd call it. Long ball forward, looking for Harry Wilson, but Masraoui's back to win it. Garnacho receives it from Fernandes, but trying to complete the 1-2, gives it away. Ugarte too slow, Jimenez in to pick his pocket, but it bounces back in favour of Manchester United, and Martinez will receive it on the edge of the penalty area.
Both teams are pressing quite high up the pitch as well, not really getting any time on the ball.
And it goes for Højlund. That high press making it difficult for Onana to pick a short option, so has to go long to the big Danish forward. Long ball forward for Jimenez, who doesn't even try and get it. Harry Maguire with his arm in the air suggests that they comfortably knew that the Mexican was offside. 4 minutes played here at Craven Cottage. Fulham 0, Manchester United 0. On it goes to Højlund once more, beaten in the air by Joachim Andersen. Calvin Bassey picks up the pieces and Ben Leno will have it. They'll send it long.
Yeah, and it's Manchester United just moving the ball about. Diallo getting involved as well, goes back. The ball goes back to the Manchester United goalkeeper.
They're just starting to get a feel for the ball and get used to it. Still playing with the yellow winter ball here in the Premier League. Not really been snowy in London today, but it has been certainly a little bit drizzly.
Right.
Here's Alex Iwobi, picks up the ball in the centre circle, driving and Matthias de Ligt away from Agati. Iwobi goes all the way, saved by Onana. Down fast to his left-hand side. First shot of the game comes from Alex Iwobi. Onana very much equal to it though, he had to be.
Yeah, he did, and he drives forward, Iwobi, and he gets right to the edge of the box. He had Anthony Robinson flying on the outside. He decided to take the shot low and hard to Onana's left-hand side. He gets a good hand to it and just holds the ball. It's a decent save.
It just wasn't far enough over towards the corner, was it really, from Alex Iwobi? It was a good strike, plenty of power in it, but Onana, to his credit, down quickly to make the save. Gets plenty of criticism, does Andre Onana, but to be fair to him, he's a good shot stopper for a goalkeeper. Højlund will chase this one. Andersen comes across, slows down the Danish forward. Garnacho running at Castagna, can't get beyond the Belgian fullback, who gets the lucky spin and gets possession back. Jimenez pushed in the back by Alessandro Martinez, and Jimenez using all of his experience there to win a deep free kick for Fulham.
Yeah, it was good defending there from Castagna. Garnacho faced him up, went down the line, stopped the ball going in the box. Good defending from the Fulham fullback.
Helped out by Joachim Andersen as well, Danish defender, up against the Danish forward tonight. Also got Argentina and Martinez up against the Mexican and Raul Jimenez. So a European battle at one end and a South American battle at the other. Owen Fernandez has won the ball in the Fulham half. Looked like a high foot to me before he got into Berger, but he has it now. Fernandez floats it over the top for Garnacho. He's asking a lot of the youngster, who gets there but can't keep the ball in play, and it's just a bit too heavy, that, from Fernandez.
Yeah, he was asking a lot of him there. But he did well to try and get to the ball. Garnacho couldn't quite get his foot around the ball to keep it in play, and he goes behind the goal.
Anthony Taylor's just coming over to Sander Berger for a moment outside the Fulham penalty area, because he looked like he got a little bit of a kick from Bruno Fernandes. He didn't go down or react like he was hurt, but
I think it was a ball that he got to the face. So I think the referee was just checking that there was no blood and a nosebleed. Seems okay.
Former Burnley and Sheffield United man will continue to fight on. Here's Calvin Bassey, closed down by Højlund. Strong play from the Nigerian defender. Now Robinson progressing forward down the Fulham left for the first time this evening. Corner of the penalty area. Iwobi tries to cut it back for Emil Smith-Rowe, and Manchester United had bodies in the way, and it looked for a moment like it was going to go out for a corner, but Diogo Dalot at full strength on the slide knocks it out for a throw-in. Maguire clears the next ball as Iwobi tries to dig one out. Robinson by the corner flag. Diallo closes him down. Berger's there, midway inside the Fulham half. Anderson, every outfield player currently in Manchester United's half.
They do commit players forward, Fulham.
Here's Wilson, dispossessed by a combination of Garnacho and Mazraoui. Lukic tripping Fernandez, who gives his first look at the referee to show that he's not happy. Tends to give quite a lot of those unhappy looks towards the officials, does Bruno Fernandes, Manchester United captain. There's Calvin Bassey. 9 minutes on the clock. Fulham 0, Manchester United 0. Alex Iwobi with the only attempt so far, testing Andre Onana. Nigeria versus Cameroon. There's a Cameroonian goalkeeper who kept out the Nigerian strike. And Sasha Lukic, the Serbian, goes back to his goalkeeper Bernd Leno as he looks for options front of him. Speaking of nationalities, Bernd Leno, he was called up to the Germany squad in October. Julian Nagelsmann rather disappointed to see that the Fulham goalkeeper turned it down, declined the chance to play for his nation. Well, the issue was he wasn't going to play. He was told that he was going to be second choice and wasn't going to get a game. So you kind of understand his decision on that front.
I don't know. I mean, I think if your country calls, sure you're going.
But you're not going to play. You're just going to train. I can kind of get it, but surely the experience alone is worth something.
Exactly.
Here's Mazraoui, dispossessed by Sasha Lukic. That's raised the level of the home support. Strong play from Lukic. Mazraoui not equal to it. Ugarte equal to that through ball from Iwobi though, before it found Smith Rowe. Being played at a good pace.
It's a decent pace, and Smith Rowe there trying to make a run in behind the Manchester United back three. Iwobi just couldn't find him with the pass. But it's played at a good pace.
There's Lisandro Martinez on the halfway line. We know he likes to progress. We saw that in his goal at Anfield in Manchester United's last away game in the Premier League. It was a brilliant finish as well, wasn't it?
It was a great finish. Smashed it in at the near post.
Just managed to find a gap in the Argentinian defender. That's his only goal in the Premier League so far. He also got an assist for that. Bruno Fernandes, winner in the week against Rangers. You can cross it, you can strike it. Wants to do a bit of defending as well, the World Cup winner. Here he is now. Left-footed into Garnacho. Has to go back to Martinez's. Fulham aren't necessarily standing too deep, but Manchester United are still trying to find a little bit of space to operate with him. Diallo does. Now Fernandes plays it out to the right, looking for Dallo, who's onside, despite a few supporters in the front row for Fulham asking for the linesman to put his flag up. Doesn't come. Now Iwobi, lovely step over to skip away from Ugarte. And now Lukic plays it to his right-hand side where Wilson receives. The former Liverpool man. Looking for options. Manchester United quick to get back into their defensive shape. That's slowed down this Fulham attack. Smith Rowe, Iwobi. Two former Arsenal men linking up. Iwobi, Jimenez trying to find room to shoot. Gets away from Maguire. Gets away from De Ligt. It nearly breaks for Alex Iwobi. The Dutchman De Ligt just about managing to re-find his position and clear that ball away.
Yeah, Jimenez was really well up on the edge of the box there. Little shimmy, couple of deflections, very nearly fell to Iwobi.
Yeah, one bounce, two bounce, and luckily the third bounce fell away of the former Bayern Munich defender De Ligt. Great footwork though from Raul Jimenez on the edge of the box.
Yeah, it was, and like you say, a couple of deflections. De Ligt does well to just clear his lines.
Strong defending from a man who cost £50 million. Famously a Europa League runner-up under Erik ten Hag at Ajax when they were beaten by Manchester United. Actually had a goal ruled out against Rangers, not to do with anything of his fault, pushed in the back by Lenny Yoro on a Rangers man, meaning that goal was ruled out. I think he would have quite liked that one, Matthias de Ligt, to be honest. Here's Martinez for Manchester United. Plays it into Højlund, who's being pulled one way and then the other by Anderson. No foul though, and Højlund loses it, but he'll get it back now after a fortunate deflection falls his way. Ugarte. Matthias de Ligt. Diallo closed down by Robinson. Bassi there to clear it away. Manchester United still have it though. De Ligt 5 yards inside the Fulham half. Fernandes, centre circle across to Martinez, who's joined the midfield. That's a good pass forward to Mazraoui in a central position, but immediately dispossessed by Sander Berge. That midfield duo of Lukic and Berge, they do have their defensive caps on, don't they?
They do. They're fantastic right in front of the Fulham back four, just stopping anything that gets played into them, into the Manchester United striker.
Here's Ugarte. Manchester United starting to enjoy a good spell of possession here at Craven Cottage. The away end getting behind them and doing their part.
Yeah, they're just moving the ball about, Manchester United. Fulham just holding the ground, not really pressing.
Means there can be runners in behind, but Timothy Castagne was able to prevent Mazraoui from sneaking in there. Fulham have it back with Wilson, who I think tried to play it forward for Raul Jimenez, but he certainly wasn't chasing that one 50 yards down the right flank. Just some confusion on the communication front.
I mean, we're talking about service into front men, and it's not just balls in the box, it's balls that played up to them. Got to give them something to work with.
Manchester United can't play out into the midfield because Fulham's attack force and midfield are stepping forward. Even Anderson is here, 10 yards inside the Manchester United half, wins it back. Lukic tries to force it. Jimenez flicks it on. Smith Rowe into the penalty area, collides with Martinez and it spins away. Shouts of a penalty from the Manchester United end, but play continues. It actually didn't go out of play. And now Fernandes can bring it away on the counter. No, they can't counter. There's a big follow through by Fernandes on Timothy Castagne. After a chaotic moment or two, eventually Fulham get their free kick.
Yeah, it was, and I think he's blown for a free kick there from Fernandes. It was a wild swing, but the ball that played into Emile Smith-Rowe, he just couldn't quite get the ball under control. He had 3 Manchester United players round him, and they did the job and got the ball away.
Yeah, De Ligt giving him a nudge in his left shoulder. Yeah. Martinez flying in from the right, and Onana closing him down. It was a hat-trick of Manchester United players that were able to prevent the opportunity becoming a goal-scoring opportunity. Fulham 0, Manchester United 0. Here on Premier League Live at Craven Cottage with myself, Rich Wolfenden, and the former Fulham man, Rufus Brevitt. Here's Anthony Robinson. Loves a cross on the left-hand side, but this time can't beat his first man.
No,
so Dalot in the way.
Yeah, he does a good job there, Dalot. Just stop the ball getting into the box. But Anthony Robinson will be flying forward at every opportunity down that left-hand side.
Always wants it on his left foot. He goes back inside with his right this time. Joachim Andersen, Sasha Lukic, Bruno Fernandes for company. The Manchester United man forces him to go back to Andersen, who once again a rather aimless ball by Fulham down that right channel. So Mazraoui has all the time in the world to bring it down.
It's a needless ball. Anderson there, he's got ability to find a pass. Just then he just plays it up front. I'm not too sure where he was looking for, because there was no Fulham player anywhere near it.
Well, you may well remember when Fulham were last beaten at home, they were beaten rather remarkably 4-1 by Wolves, and that's when Joachim Andersen had to go off injured. And because Marco Silva had already made all his subs, Fulham had to play the remainder of the game with only 10 men. Yeah. And that's when the goals started to fly in.
Yeah.
And he's very much essential in the back line for Fulham is Joachim Andersen.
Yeah, he is. I think it's his 150th Premier League appearance. So he's done fantastically well for Fulham and for Palace.
I was quite surprised that Palace were quite happy to let him go. They might have been trying to balance the books, but they certainly could have done with him this season, going off how they started. Could have done with him today as well against Brentford. Fulham who have it in their own half here with Castagne. Here it is Andersen. Calvin Bassey. Great noise from the travelling support. Sander Berger. Jimenez traps it with his right foot, passes it to Iwobi with his left. Now Iwobi, 3 players arriving. Iwobi to Dalot, away from Dalot. Iwobi shoots low, not particularly hard, but Onana saw it through a crowd of players in white and red in front of him and had to pat it down and get it at the second time of asking. Half a chance that for Fulham.
It was. I think it's one of them where he comes inside, has a shot, and he goes through 3 or 4 Manchester United players. Saw it late, did well just to take the sting out the shot.
Onana now with 2 saves to his name. Bernd Leno yet to be tested by anybody in red. Here's Onana, who goes long again, nowhere near Rasmus Højlund. Bassey picks up the pieces. Leno gives it to Robinson. And I think pretty much when we were talking about the usefulness of Xerxes versus Højlund. I think on those long balls, maybe Xerxes a bit more of an option, perhaps.
Yeah, but I mean, the ball's up to Højlund. They're just going nowhere near him.
Yeah, Onana's kicking is not right at the moment, but Garnacho has it. Left side of the penalty area. Castagna slows him down, so he goes back to Fernandez. Ugarte, 20 yards outside the penalty area. He goes back to the halfway line. And Harry Maguire has it. And now Deadlock, Manchester United's turn to enjoy some possession. Deadlock, great ball out to the left-hand side. Garnacho, wonderful first touch, excellent second touch. Garnacho, Mazraoui, edge of the 6-yard back box, cuts it back, and Dalot was the man who he was aiming for, but Fulham had players across to prevent it falling to the Portuguese fullback.
Yeah, it was good play from Manchester United, and then again it's Garnacho here on this left-hand side. Mazraoui makes the run on the outside. It was fantastic just to go past, just to skip past. Plays the ball on the outside, and it's Mazraoui couldn't quite pick a Manchester United player out.
And then a great sliding tackle from Harry Wilson to knock Martinez to the ground.
I had to look twice and see that was actually Harry Wilson that was flying in there.
Former Liverpool man, I'm sure he'd love a win in this one. He's had a good goal-scoring time of late as Harry Wilson. You might well remember those 2 late goals in the win against Brentford back in November. Here's Ugarte, wins it off Smith Rowe. Diallo, first-time pass, well read by Calvin Bassey. And now Fulham can counter-attack. 4 in white. Berger. Iwobi, left-hand side, he's got Robinson in support. Here is the American. Bassey's continued his run into the middle. However, Anthony Robinson, who's one of the best assisters in the Premier League, only nice to find the steward on the front row of the far side.
Yeah, completely got that all wrong. He flew down this left-hand side, and he's put too much on the cross. It goes out the other end for a throw-in. Good opportunity there for Fulham.
The look on Marco Silva's face. He was disappointed to say the least. Marco Silva still gave a round of applause for his left back. Calvin Bassey, who'd made the run all the way from centre back to join that attack, has gone down injured in the 6-yard box. He's got a little bit of a limp.
I'm sure he'll be all right. But it's like what I was saying earlier, that Fulham do commit players forward. I think if it does break down, they can get caught on the counter.
22 minutes on the clock. Fulham 0, Manchester United 0 as the away end chant the name of their head coach. As his striker, Rasmus Højlund, gets a shove in the back, and Anthony Taylor awards the away side a free kick a few yards inside their own half.
It's better from Højlund. Ball gets played up to him. He just drew the foul, held on to the ball.
It's so hard to predict the long balls because so many from Onana have come up short or gone way too long. That time he came short, and it was the right decision. Here's Harry Maguire. He was back into the 11 today after missing out in the midweek victory against Rangers. There's Robinson, left-hand side. Regular fixture in this Fulham side is the American fullback. Played every single minute this season in the Premier League as the American. Here he is now. Up against Dalot. Sander Berger, midway inside the United half. Back to Anderson, centre circle. Bassey stood next to him. And now Robinson back on that left-hand side for Fulham. It's Lukic to Robinson. A few step overs, trying to find a pass and find a runner, but Manchester United very defensively solid at this point in the game. Midway through the first half, still looking for their first shot at goal, Manchester United, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, Fulham are keeping the ball, not really going anywhere.
Jimenez receives a long ball, it bounces off his knee and into the path of Sander Berger. Robinson, Jimenez makes a run down the left channel. That's more like it from Fulham. Jimenez will go down, but it looked rather soft, and Harry Maguire has a little bit of a smile on his face. He is asking for a yellow card, which I think might be a little bit too much from the big centre-back.
Yeah, Maguire's just looking at him and laughing. There was some contact, but he's dropped on the floor looking for a free kick. He was never going to get it.
He took a heavy first touch, didn't he?
He did, yes, and which made him look for the free kick.
Yeah. De Ligt with a header. Only finds Lukic, but Hoyland's there to try and win it back, but former Atalanta man doesn't. There's a slip in the middle from Lukic. Diallo, dispossessed by Lukic, does brilliantly well to win the ball back. Diallo remains on the turf. Fulham play on though. United down to 10 because of the injury. Diallo, brilliant defending to slow down Alex Iwobi as he tried to burst through into the penalty area. Diallo's now back on his feet. He seems to be okay.
Again, I think, it was a fantastic tackle on him, and he just stayed on the floor, and as you see there, he's just running around, nothing wrong with him.
Yeah, it's strange how once that Fulham attack came to an end that he recovered. Wilson into Smith Rowe. Wilson gets it back. Oh, and he's absolutely wiped out in the midfield. He's gone down holding his left ankle, and Ugarte's the man who flew in. I'm not sure if that was deliberate by Ugarte. To me, it looked like he slipped.
Yeah, I think he did slip. I don't think it was intentional there. But I mean, it's a booking, isn't it? When you slow it down, it doesn't look good.
Oh yeah, the right foot certainly catches Harry Wilson.
I'll be surprised if he doesn't at least get a booking here.
Well, he's certainly felt that, as Manuel Ugarte. Harry Wilson's felt it even more so. And there won't be a yellow card.
No, there won't.
Taylor keeping his book in his pocket for now. Just going to have a word with Bruno Fernandes, the Manchester United captain, about maybe keeping his midfield partner in check. The disagreement between Fernandes and De Ligt about the position of this defensive line. De Ligt wanted it on the edge of the D. Fernandes wanted it on the edge of the penalty area. And what the captain says goes, because that's where the Manchester United back line is. 7 of them queued up. 8 in this attack for Fulham. Wilson stands over it, as does Lukic. It'll be the Serbian to take it to the back post. Anderson recycles it, looking for Bassi, but in the way was the big Dutchman, Matthijs de Ligt. Good position in that.
Yeah, it was. He just read where the second ball was going to end up and got the ball away. Fulham back to Leno.
And ball back with Bernd Leno, who's hardly had a touch of the ball so far. Had to make a few passes to his teammates, his fellow defenders, as a rather bizarre piece of ballet there. Robinson and Anderson both leave the ball, and Bassi emerges with possession. Never quite seen it like that before. Robinson crosses from the left-hand side, and for a moment I thought that might have been going over Onana's head and into the far post, but the Manchester United goalkeeper had that judged much better than me.
Yeah, I mean, as we've seen from Robinson, he does get forward, but as of yet, the quality in the final third has not quite been there for the Fulham fullback.
I'm just looking at that pass. It's almost like they left it for a corner or something like that. Anderson left it and Bassi picked it up. I suppose it is technically a pass, despite the ball not moving. Hoyland's chasing Anderson here, and Leno does very well to control the pass, and under a bit of pressure here, Calvin Bassi, very, very nicely done to spin away from Amad Diallo, despite a rather tasty pass into his feet from his goalkeeper, Bernd Leno.
Yeah, and he handled the pass to him as well, the Fulham goalkeeper.
Fulham playing with some style here. Smith Rowe, the Croydon De Bruyne, as they used to call him at Arsenal. Iwobi. Smith Rowe, dispossessed by Harry Maguire. I won't say what the England players used to call him. Here's Anthony Robertson. Sanderberger now, 10 yards inside the Manchester United half. And the roar goes around Craven Cottage because Fulham are playing a nice little bit of football at the moment. Not able to turn it into anything progressive or a strike at goal, as Hoyland is dispossessed once again. He's frustrated.
He looks a very frustrated figure there. Ball's played up to him. A couple of times he's held on to it, but more often than not.
Wilson away from Martinez, goes down on the edge of the box, but I think Maguire just stood his ground really, winning that ball back. No complaints from the Fulham number 8. He just tried to tiptoe his way through too many red shirts. With Harry Wilson, here's Garnacho facing his own goal on Maguire. To Andre Onana. 6 clean sheets from this season Andre Onana. And you look at the amount of money that they've spent on that back four of Onana, De Ligt, Maguire and Martinez. It's quite remarkable, really, to think that they've only had 6 clean sheets all season. Here's Bruno Fernandes, though. Forget about the cost of the players at the moment, because he had to have a shot in this game. But they're coming forward now at Manchester United. It's Diallo, closed down instantly by Robinson. Fernandes, Diallo in space on the right-hand side. Lukic comes over. Diallo does get it, faced with a combination of Berger and Iwobi, and it's Fulham duo that win it back. Iwobi, right to Robinson, plays it against the right boot of Diallo, who slips on the white paint of the Fulham penalty area. Can't keep it in, it will go out for a Fulham goal kick, and Rufus were at the halfway point, the half an hour point in this game, and Manchester United still get to register a shot on target, and I think even a touch in the penalty area.
No, that's right. They've kept decent possession, in the middle third in their own half, but once they get into that final third, it breaks down. Like you say, we're still waiting to see Højlund come alive.
Yeah, we really are. I take it back, they have had a touch in the Fulham penalty area. Garnacho had that jinking run down the left-hand side, who dug out the cross after Mazraoui was there in support, but on the end of that for Manchester United, and that's the only real foray of note.
Yeah, it's still not enough for a Manchester United side, like you say, of the cost of the team.
I understand it's a new manager, and he wants to play different to the previous manager and whatever, but when you look at the players, they're experienced and internationals, and they've done it all at a certain level to some extent, apart from maybe Diallo and Garnacho.
It's still football, though. You still can play balls up to the front, up to your centre forward with good quality, giving something to hold on to. It's just not happening. If you see that ball there,
it's hopeful, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's not a training ground move in any kind of way whatsoever. You can hear the classic Manchester United chant of attack, attack, attack. But it's very much sideways at the moment.
And it's quite a comfortable Fulham. They're just not really exerting themselves, just moving across, keeping a good shape.
Here's Martinez. He's seen the ball more than anybody else, I think, for Manchester United in this first half, as he looks for a pass. Finds Fernandes, finds Mazraoui. The ball bounces up off a hand. Not sure whether it was Anderson or Mazraoui who it came off, but United keep it still. Martinez. Garnacho tries to put it through the legs of Castagna, which he manages to do, but the Belgian gets back into position to win it back, but gives it away to Martinez, who's brought down by Sasha Lukic and tackling from behind. He shouldn't really try to do that.
Yeah, he just couldn't quite get round Martinez, and it's definite foul. Tries to just wrap his leg around from the back to the front, gives a free kick away.
And now there's an opportunity for Manchester United to maybe finally test Bernd Leno, because this free kick, it's about 20 yards outside the penalty area to the left of it. Bruno Fernandes is the only one stood over it, and there's 8 players in the attack for Manchester United here, 7 in the box, 1 lurking on the edge. Maguire, De Ligt, Martinez just waiting at the back post. I'd imagine that De Ligt and Maguire are priority target for this one. Fernandes waiting for his moment. 4 Manchester United players stood in an offside position at the moment. Fernandes floats it to the penalty spot, headed away by Anderson, and then away by Raul Jimenez. Good defending from Fulham.
It was. Anderson just saw it all the way. Got a good defensive header.
Well, that's well done by Diallo to keep the ball in, but he unfortunately slips, and Anthony Robinson's able to come away with it. And he has been excellent this season for Fulham. And is in charge of this one as Fernandes gives it away to Iwobi. Iwobi heavy touch, and that allows Fernandes to recover. He'd beaten Lisandro Martinez as well there, Iwobi, but Fernandes, who gave it away, luckily won it back. And now Manchester United come forward on the counter charge. Diallo, not seen much of this down the Manchester United right. Dallo to Diallo. And now Ugarte, Fulham with numbers back. Manchester United go back to the halfway line. Frustrating.
Yeah, it is frustrating. It will be. In good position in the Fulham final third, and then going all the way back. Here's Garnacho.
Mazraoui tries to cut it back. Lukic in the way of his cross. Back to Garnacho. 3 in support in the middle. Fernandez tries the 1-2 with Garnacho. There's Castagna and there's Anderson to clear it away. Fulham doing a little bit of defending over the last few minutes for the first time in this game.
He's done well, Castagna. When he's been called upon defensively, I think he started the last 7 games. So he's here on merit, and he's defensively looking very, very sound today.
He's had a lot of injuries, especially at the start of the season. Timothy Castagna missed all of August and September. Got his first goal of the season in the 4-1 FA Cup third round victory against Watford earlier on this month. Not really known for his goal scoring, Timothy Castagna, but always a little bonus as a defender to get the score sheet once in a while. Luke Anderson also managed to get his name on the score sheet a few weekends ago. Here's Harry Maguire and Andre Onana enjoying a little bit of 1-2 in their own penalty area. Goes to De Ligt and he'll go long once again, looking for Højlund. It bounces off him and Bassi gets the second ball, and Ugarte looks like he takes a hand in the face there from Calvin Bassi. He was just trying to keep his man away from him, like a healthy distance, and rather unfortunately caught the Uruguayan in the face, and there it is, a slap in the left eye for Ugarte. Bassi actually got a free kick for the coming together, but it's one of them where you get an accidental finger in the eye and can't see for a second or two. It's not particularly pleasant.
And like you say, just use his hand just to brush him away. He didn't quite know where he was, and he took a little one in the eye, but I'm sure he's okay.
The man who won the Taça de Liga, or the Portuguese Cup, under Ruben Amorim at Sporting Lisbon in 2021. There's a lot of Manchester United supporters who have big expectations for him. So I've just been told that Rasmus Højlund has had the fewest touches in this game than anybody else. 13 touches is all he's had. Amad Diallo is number 2. Here's Smith Rowe. Iwobi, every time Fulham pick up the ball, they look dangerous on the counter. Iwobi leads it. Out wide's Jimenez, corner of the penalty area. Works room to shoot. Bends one towards the corner, but he's actually bent it in to the stands. Not a fine strike by the Mexican forward.
No, it wasn't, and he's come inside. I'm sure there were better options for the Mexican, but he's gone for it. Quite execute it right. It's flow over the ball.
You see what he was trying to do?
Yeah, you could see, You
can see the position he got into. Just trying to whip his right foot around it there. Raul Jimenez has actually only ever scored against Manchester United once in his footballing career. That was in the FA Cup in 2019 for Wolves in a 2-1 victory in the 6th round, 6 years ago now, crikey. Alejandro Garnacho, I think, might have won a corner kick there. No, he hasn't. It's a goal kick.
That did look like a corner.
Like he kicked it against the defender, didn't it?
It did look like a corner.
Timothy Castagna is a little bit lucky there, as we see Gianni Infantino, Mr. FIFA himself, here at Craven Cottage. I'm sure he'll be
and he's
excited.
actually sat in the cottage watching the game.
One of the finest seats, FIFA's finest. Robinson into Jimenez, heavy touch. Will try from a very narrow angle, and it wasn't the right decision from Raul Jimenez. And that's what I'd say. But Robinson all of a sudden found space down the left-hand side under the nose of Gianni Infantino, and he managed to find his man Raul Jimenez. But he probably just needed to take another touch and find another player in white. Really.
Again, it's it's decision making when you're in the box. That split second. Decided to go for the shot, very narrow angle, and it just went wide in the post.
It was a good chance that. Anthony Robinson, it's the most space he's probably had down the left-hand side. Anthony Robinson, if he gets one more assist, he'll be equal with Steve Malbronk for the most assists in one single season for Fulham in the Premier League. Did you play with Steve Malbronk?
I played with Steve, Excellent player.
Who would you compare him to in the modern day? Because he was one of the finer players at Fulham in those early years.
Well, he had that low central gravity, didn't he? And he looked like jinking and going past players, and like you say, making things happen in the final third. He was an excellent player. He went to Tottenham as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He had a spell at Tottenham. I don't think he ever got an appearance for France, I suppose.
No.
Played during a golden era, really, didn't he, when French football was flying. I don't think there's been a Steed in the Premier League since.
No.
confidently say that despite not doing any research on that topic. If there's any more famous steeds, please let us know at TalkSport Live. There's Timothy Castagna into Sanderberger, who takes a heavy touch, closed down by Diallo and Garnacho, and the two wingers overloading this left-hand side, managed to force the Norwegian into kicking the ball out for a Manchester United throw-in. Just over 5 minutes to go in this first half. Fulham 0, Manchester United 0 on Premier League Live. We've had goals everywhere in the Premier League today. Brentford winning 2-1 at Crystal Palace. Leicester winning 2-1 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And West Ham, who thought they'd won it late on at Villa Park, take a point away from the Midlands. Very close call for Thomas Souček. In that commentary earlier on with John Anderson and Paul Parker. Yet to get a goal here, and not really seen too much goal-mouth action. We might get some now. Diallo blocked off. Diallo plays on, can't get it past Sanderberger though, who comes back to help out that defensive line. Took a whack there, didn't he?
He did. I was just going to say, it's Bassi just stood his ground. He ran into him. He knew what he was doing, Bassi.
Maybe lucky to get away with that yellow card.
Really lucky. I mean, there's been a couple of fouls that the referees let go. It's not like Anthony Taylor.
Anthony Taylor letting the game flow. So Manchester United prepare for a long throw-in. Well, they don't take it long. It's gone backwards. Nasser Mazraoui. Manuel Ugarte. Mazraoui. Fernandez, left-footed dink forward. Robinson's going to get there before Diallo. He'll prevent it going up for a corner, but he'll give it away. Ugarte, clever footwork from Ugarte. Sanderberger's got hold of him. He's pulling his shirt off his back almost. There will be a Manchester United free kick, and the linesman certainly spotted that, as did Anthony Taylor. And there was absolutely no hiding there.
No, there wasn't. There was no need really for Berg to get hold of his shirt.
He wasn't going anywhere.
No, he wasn't. He was facing away from the goal as well. It's a cheap free kick to give away there from Sanderberg.
Foolish, really, by Sanderberger. Made his first appearance in almost a month in the 2-0 victory over Leicester, so might be a little bit rusty perhaps. Got to grips with the Uruguayan Ugarte there. Manchester United with another set piece and an opportunity to send this one in. It's almost like a corner routine for the away side. Lots of red shirts stood at the back post especially. Fernandez sends it to that back post. Up goes Bassi. It lands at De Ligt's feet and it bounces into Bernd Leno. I wouldn't really call it a shot at goal because it kind of hit him and went towards goal.
It did. That literally could have gone anywhere as it's came into the box from Fernandez. Well, it just came off a load of bodies, didn't it? And
yeah, I'm actually not sure if it did come off De Ligt last. I think it might have actually come off of Maguire.
Yeah, it did.
More than anybody else's. There was then a foul on Bernd Leno, which I don't think De Ligt knew too much about, but
I don't think Maguire knew much about it when it come off his back as well.
That's the first, I don't want to call it a save, catch that Bernd Leno's had to make in this game. I think it probably will go down as the first shot on target for Manchester United. Here's Højlund, yet to get involved. Good hold-up play there though as he keeps Anderson at bay. Diallo was available on the return, didn't get it though. Fernandez, Diallo, centre spot, Bruno Fernandes. Martinez, Garnacho, chance of United from the away end, loud and proud as Fernandez is dispossessed by Smith Rowe. Maguire's there to help out his captain though. That's a good pass, that's not a good pass. Great ball forward from Martinez, but Garnacho just a little bit too fancy when he needs to keep it simple.
That's right, and like I say again, decision making in the final third, balls get played up to him. Just hold on to it and make sure you keep possession in that final third, it's so important. He goes for a fancy flick and he goes to a Fulham player.
He has looked the most likely, I'd probably say, in this first half, Alejandro Garnacho, which once again just raises the question about why there's such strong transfer rumours about him leaving the club when he's one of the key creators for Ruben Amorim.
Yes.
It's such a shame for Manchester United if they had to relinquish his services, especially if he goes to another English club. It's Bruno Fernandes, right-footed Looks for the run of Alejandro Garnacho, but that'll go straight into the supporters on this near side, down the Fulham right. Final minute of the first half. I don't think we're going to have too much added on at the end of this first half.
I think it's flowed. We've not really had much stoppages or anything of it, so...
No, it's been played at a good pace.
Yes.
But not with any real...
quality.
Yeah, no
really.
quality, no key moment really in this game. There's still the opportunity for a hero to make themselves known in this game, and maybe in this first half, because here come Fulham. Smith Rowe, Iwobi, Robinson in support, but Iwobi will cross it himself to the back post. Wilson arrives, Mazraoui tracks him all the way, and Fernandez heads it further on. Still alive for Fulham though, Lukic, corner of the penalty area. Berger's in support, but Lukic will go backwards instead to Calvin Bassey. Mazraoui, to be fair, trapped his man all the way there.
And he had to, and it was a good defensive clearance from Mazraoui.
And the Moroccan excellent tracking of Harry Wilson there to prevent the former Liverpool man getting a header in at goal. 1 minute added on at the end of this first half as Anderson goes long, looking for Smith Rowe. De Ligt beats him. Second ball will come for Berger. Smith Rowe gives it away. Diallo. Ugarte closed down by Smith Rowe. Wins it back. Ugarte wants the free kick. He doesn't get it. Iwobi tripped from behind. And Ugarte says no. And the referee, Anthony Taylor, agrees. I thought he'd pointed for a free kick for a moment there. It will be a throw-in. I think he got the ball. But...
Yeah, he definitely got the ball as Iwobi turned, trying to get round him. He definitely got a foot onto the ball.
Came through the back of his man, but got the ball. Another throw-in right by the touch. Well, that throw-in won't be taken because Anthony Taylor has blown his whistle for half-time. Fulham, the better side. Opportunities falling for the likes of Iwobi, the likes of Jimenez. Manchester United, one shot on target, and that is being generous, we have to say. At half-time here at Craven Cottage, it's Fulham 0, Manchester United 0. We'll be back for some half-time analysis in just a moment. You're listening to Premier League Live.
The heartthrobs and the hair, the bad girls and the boy bands, plus guitars, lots of guitars. Oh, and the original MTV VJs.
Mark Goodman, Nita Blackwood, and myself, Alan Hunter.
If it was big in the 80s, it's on 80s on 8. And listen at home on Alexa, Google Home, smart TVs, and everywhere on the SiriusXM app.
Bring home more from your in-car stations with the SiriusXM app. More than 200 streaming-only channels for every at-home activity. Music for kids, pets, even plants. Sounds for better sleep, breaking a sweat, and everything in between. Just search At Home to find it all with the SiriusXM app. At home on your phone, computer, Alexa, TV, or other internet-connected devices.
Get to know the contenders for music's highest honor, from country to pop, rock to hip-hop, and beyond. The 67th Annual Grammy Awards nominees have their own SiriusXM destination, the Grammy Channel. For a limited time on SiriusXM 17. And at home on your phone, computer, Alexa, TV, or other internet-connected devices.
Don't miss the dramatic conclusion of the league phase of the UEFA Champions League on SiriusXM FC. Manchester City must beat Club Brugge in order to secure a place in the knockout stage.
Haaland on the back post and a brilliant header.
Will City step up to the task or crumble under the pressure?
It just goes from horribly bad to even worse.
City versus Bruges, Wednesday at 3 Eastern on SiriusXM FC, channel 157 in the car.
Off. Turn that desktop audio off. What is up, sons of a pitch central? Soccer Central. God, I can't even get my own name right because I just started my live over on Toronto Sports Insider for the Washington Commanders against the Philadelphia Eagles. We are now live on TSI for the day. We're going to be live. We're going to send you guys right after this directly over to that live. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We've got a message here from my friend True, the guy in the chat. And it's not working. Of course it's not working. Come on, work with me here. Work. YouTube. Boom. There it is. All right, we got True here. I got to edit this out a little bit. Boom. How's everybody doing? How's this game going? I've been running around like crazy. I was just at my son Tom's soccer game. So he had 2 games this morning, had a clean sheet in the first, and then the second, we're not going to talk about that because it ended right at the end. Here's True. Thank you for hanging out with us, everybody. Listen up.
It is alongside
How's
me.
it going on,
Rufus,
SOP fans?
probably
My name's True. Thank you watching right now for tuning in to tonight's stream. We really appreciate it over here, and the community we're building over here is absolutely amazing. If you guys could do me one favour, slap a like on the stream, get down where you are watching from as well in the comment section down below. We like to know where our viewers are watching from, and liking the stream does go a long way. It helps push the stream out and build the community and grow the channel overall. Thank you for watching. Peace.
All right, thank you, True. Really appreciate it, man. I'm sending the second video. There's another video here from True as well that he sent over that we're going to get playing here as soon as, Google works its magic and gets to the right places. So 0-0 here at the half. Possession leaning a little bit there towards Manchester United. 53 almost to 48. 47-48. Shots there are heavily in favor of Fulham, though. Looks like they've been controlling the play here. So let me pop up this second video here from Darcy. Where is it? There we go. Come on, man. All right. Copy and paste. There it is.
How's it going? Thank you for tuning into today's stream. My name's True. What I can offer you guys is a service for EAFC 25. And that's because I'm a pro EAFC player as well as being a big Manchester United fan. What I offer is a division rival service, get you to the highest division in division rivals and get you the best rewards, as well as FUT champion service. Whatever rank you require, you can book in with me via Twitter or Discord. TrueKiller_. Send me a message. I'm responding to all messages. 24/7 availability as well. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the stream. Peace.
My man, Darcy. True. Brother, how are you, man? I am so glad we are along for this ride, my man. Let's kill it. Let's go get it. 2025 is our year. Man, rank 1 coming as well on, what, Sunday? Today's Sunday. So today, get on it, my brother. Kick some ass. And thank you all for hanging out with us here for the Fulham against Manchester United game. I've got to head back to my TSI stream and move it over from the starting soon page to the live game. Make sure you guys check out that. I'll put the link in the chat for you guys to pop on over there where we'll have thousands of people watching that game. As well, this what you see here on the screen. Get in touch with True. Tell him you were here on SOP Soccer during the Manchester United games and your first week, only $20. He's going to take your team, I guarantee it, to at least a rank 3. Guaranteed. Don't care how bad your team is. He'll make it happen for $20. And then you're going to start growing your team just like we have done here at SOP Soccer Central, which eventually got to give it a few more weeks here, maybe a couple more months, bringing it into 2025. I'm going to be doing a lot more gaming content on here as well. We'll see you guys back in the chat. Come on, United. Let's get the victory today. We need the 3 points. Let's go. What's up, soccer fans? Thank you for hanging out with us today for Manchester United against Fulham. What a game we have in store this afternoon, this evening, this morning, the middle of the night, wherever it is that you are watching from. We appreciate you being here.
And then
Please
Emerson, though, did find a way through, heading in unmarked from a wonderful Edson Alvarez cross with 20 minutes left. And at last, a competitive game broke out. And the Hammers almost sealed it with the last kick of the game. But Lucas Paquetá's tap-in was disallowed correctly for an offside against Thomas Souček in the build-up. Not one for the purists then. It's the 6th game in a row that Aston Villa have...
And have him change your team and your rewards to the craziest things you've ever seen. You want to get rank 1 rewards? I had never, ever gotten rank 1 rewards until I DM'd True and he started working on our team. Now we do it every week. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hitting that like button. Subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you in the chat. Let's go, MUFC.
Distance because he's so strong back to goal, but he's also, if you get good service into him, he can link the play really well, drops into areas that it's not easy for centre backs, and he also threatened the back line. So I think he was man of the match by the TV, and I can see why.
Yeah, a decent point for West Ham. It looks as if things are starting to come together just a little bit for Graham Potter. Rufus, we look down at the bottom end of the table, and if it finishes a draw here, Manchester United will go back up to 13th ahead of West Ham United. But there is just a little bit of a bridge now between those bottom 4 sides and Everton in 16th, 7 points between Everton in 16th and Wolves in 18th. Tottenham and Manchester United, there's a lot of jokes that they are in a relegation battle, but they're kind of in that bracket just above those that are truly in a relegation battle.
Yeah, I think looking at the table, the 4 that are down there, you got Leicester City, Wolves, Ipswich, Southampton, Everton just above that. I think Everton would have done enough, so I think it's going to be out the 4, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Southampton, they've only had 1 win all season. I think they're almost certainly written off. Ipswich Town, naive performance at Liverpool, wasn't it, yesterday? Yes. And Wolves, new manager who's come in. Leicester, inexperienced manager. It feels like a roll of the dice, really, from both the Midland sides.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it was a massive win for Leicester today at Tottenham. So, you don't know, it's the Premier League. Anyone could beat anyone, as we've seen. So there's a long way to go. But, I mean, it's going to be a massive fight for them 4 that are down there to stay up.
Absolutely. Can you see any of them catching Tottenham or Everton? Feels weird to put Tottenham in that bracket.
Yeah.
I've got to be honest.
I can't. It's the Premier League, you don't know, but I can't see it.
Where just quickly on Tottenham, where do you think their sticking point is? Is it Ange? Is it the players that are out on the field? Does it come even higher than that?
Well, they've got a load of injuries, haven't they, Tottenham? When you look at that, I mean, the style of play, they're very open. It's nice if you're neutral watching the game, but if you're a Tottenham fan, you must be pulling your hair out.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you look at the title race this season, Liverpool obviously have been good and have been very good, and I'm not taking anything away from Liverpool, but it does feel like there was an opportunity for Manchester United or Tottenham to be that side who pushed Liverpool this season. Anyway, enough about Tottenham Hotspur. Our focus today is on Fulham versus Manchester United, and we'll be back for the second half in just a moment. You're listening to Premier League Live.
Join a magical mystery tour through the sounds of Beatlemania.
The music that changed everything and the stories behind the songs.
Every day was like living 10 years.
From Liverpool
to Abbey Road
and beyond.
I'm John. I'm Paul. I'm George. I'm Ringo.
The Beatles channel, SiriusXM 18. And at home on your phone, computer, Alexa, TV or other internet-connected devices.
Don't miss the dramatic conclusion of the league phase of the UEFA Champions League on SiriusXM FC. Manchester City must beat Club Brugge in order to secure a place in the knockout stage.
Haaland to the back post and a brilliant header.
Will City step up to the task or crumble under the pressure?
It just goes from horribly bad to even worse.
City versus Bruges, Wednesday at 3 Eastern on SiriusXM FC, channel 157 in the car and streaming on the SiriusXM app.
The National Football League is headed to Orlando, Florida for the 2025 Pro Bowl games.
2010 5 touchdown, Lamar Jackson.
SiriusXM NFL Radio brings you the sights and sounds of all the festivities. Friday night at 7 Eastern with Pro Bowl Live. Amber Theo Harris and Kirk Morrison get exclusive interviews with players from the AFC and NFC on NFL Radio Channel 88 in the car and on the SiriusXM app.
Every Thursday at 6 Eastern.
I'd like to just talk a little bit about college basketball.
Join Hall of Fame coach Mike Krzyzewski for Basketball and Beyond on SiriusXM College Sports Radio. Hear conversations from all sports and beyond.
Marcus Freeman, Peyton Manning, Don Staley.
Plus, hear Coach K's unique perspective on the biggest stories in college basketball.
There's not an off night in that league.
Don't miss Basketball and Beyond with Coach K. Thursdays at 6 Eastern on SiriusXM College Sports Radio, Channel 84, and on the SiriusXM app.
It's soccer's most thrilling league.
Only the Premier League can make you feel like this.
And now every match is on the SiriusXM app.
Can you believe it?
From the title race.
This is remarkable. Keeps this title charge on track, surely.
To the relegation fight.
The impossible may still be possible.
Hear every English Premier League match on the SiriusXM app and talk about all the EPL drama on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SiriusXM app.
Be a lifeline for Southern California by supporting the Red Cross wildfire relief effort. The American Red Cross is on the front lines, providing emergency shelter, food, water, and medical support to those affected. Together, we can make a difference. To donate, please visit redcross.org, call 1-800-RED-CROSS, or text CA Wildfires to 90999. That's redcross.org, 1-800-RED-CROSS, or text CA Wildfires to 90999.
Defender Rufus Brevett is sat alongside me, and as London Calling by the Clash rings out around this part of West London, the players emerge. We are a moment or so away from kickoff in this second half. I will run you through the two 11s actually before we get underway, starting with the home side. Bernd Leno is in goal, Anthony Robinson, Calvin Bassey, Joachim Anderson, Timothy Castagna, Sander Berger, Sasha Lukic, Alex Iwobi, Emil Smith-Rowe, Harry Wilson and Raul Jimenez started this second half just as they did at the beginning of the game. Looks like there's no changes for Manchester United either. Andre Onana, Diogo Dalot, Lissandro Martinez, Harry Maguire, Matthias de Ligt, Musser Mazraoui, Bruno Fernandes, Mamrod Agate, Amad Diallo, Alejandro Garnacho, Rasmus Højlund complete Ruben Amorim's 11. 6 changes from the side that beat Rangers in the week. As we see the two Portuguese head coaches traipse across the pitch here at Craven Cottage, away from the literal cottage to the dugouts in the new stand. Rufus, how many years did you spend here? Was it 5 years?
5 or 6 years I was here.
Did you ever get to go in the cottage?
Yes. Yes, it's all changed. It's all changed now. You know, up there now it's all plush, and that's where we'll do all the entertaining. It wasn't like that when I was here, but it's fantastic.
In my mind, there's a roaring wood fire.
Oh yeah.
And maybe like a head of a stag on a wall or something like that. You know, traditional British inn, something like that. Anyway, we are back underway as we move on from the stereotypes of British culture. It's Manchester United who are playing from left to right with Onana in possession right now in the penalty area. 0-0 at the beginning of this second half. And remember, you can get involved on X or Twitter, whatever you like to call it, at TalkSport Live. Send us a tweet on there to tell us where you're listening this evening. We'd love to know where you tuned in this evening. Well, Ruben Amorim will want to see a considerably improved performance in this second half.
Definitely, and you know, they've just got to play with a bit more quality and be a bit more measured when they go forward, Manchester United.
As Fulham go direct this time, looking for Iwobi, but he's never beaten Matthias de Ligt in the air. Here's Agate. Now Maguire. Poor first half performance certainly hasn't dampened the spirit of the Manchester United away end. Always well supported. Wherever they go, the biggest club in the world. There's Onana. To Matthias de Ligt. Back to Andre Onana. Clears it long. It's a good pass to Amad Diallo and a decent first touch inside, but Højlund has touched, lets him down once again, and you're shaking your head, Rufus.
I mean, I think that just sums his game up. I mean, it's not difficult to control that ball, and it just bounces over his foot.
Really poor from the Denmark international. Here's Diallo. Lovely footwork from him. Fernandes. Not really seen him in too many attacking positions, Bruno Fernandes.
No, he's just held the centre of the pitch, trying to get them playing, isn't he?
Yeah, he looks frustrated as he has a word with Diallo and Agate. Just wants a bit more movement in front of him, does the Manchester United captain. Here's Onana, closed down by Jimenez. Fulham pressing high here, but Manchester United able to work it around the Fulham press. Well done, Dalot. Plays it into Højlund, who this time earns himself a free kick, hauled down by his Danish compatriot Joachim Andersen.
Yeah, he's just come through the back of him there. Andersen, right on top of the referee, instantly blew his whistle. Manchester United free kick.
He's protesting his innocence, Andersen, but he is certainly tight to Rasmus Højlund, just inside the Manchester United half. Here's Harry Maguire, centre of the back three for Manchester United. He's got Martinez to his left and De Ligt to his right. Onana behind him, who sends it long, looking for Højlund, who's beaten in the air by Andersen. He's taken a whack in the face as Rasmus Højlund, purely accidental by the Fulham centre-back. Seems to be okay, he's back on his feet. Diallo, space for Diallo on the right if he can find him, but he won't because he's on the floor himself, Diallo. After Sanderberger just trod on the heel of the Ivorian.
Yeah, just breaking the play up there, Sanderberger. Ahmed just trying to get round him. It's a free kick here, which Fernandes is over.
It's 25-30 yards out from the penalty area. He can't shoot from this distance, Bruno Fernandes. But he can almost certainly loft one into the Fulham penalty area. 3 minutes played in the second half. Fulham 0, Manchester United 0. Manchester United free kick. Bruno Fernandes, right arm aloft, swings one towards the penalty spot, glanced on by Berger. And Jimenez is there to clear it away, and he's actually found Alex Iwobi, who tries to start a counter but doesn't find Smith Rowe. Gives it away to Fernandes, Bassi across, puts his body in the way, and he's going to chase his own clearance actually. He's going to get there, but for the sliding challenge of the man in front of him, Diogo Dalot.
Great play from Bassi there. The desire to try and get forward and get onto the pass, which he had no right of getting to. He very nearly got to the ball.
Just a steam train there, wasn't he, Calvin Bassi? Nobody was slowing him down there. Here's Amad Diallo. Fernandes. Harry Maguire. Looks to his right, sees Matthijs de Ligt. Approaches the halfway line, forced to go long again. He tries to find Garnacho, and he almost does, but Wilson's there to win it back. Jimenez. So much better than Højlund at coming deep and getting the ball, isn't he, Raul Jimenez? Seems so much more composed in the way that he brings it in. Harry Wilson seems to have a knock for Fulham. Manchester United will move into the position he's vacated whilst he shakes off that knock, but they opt to go backwards once more to Harry Maguire. Switch the play to Dalot. Good header to beat Robinson to the ball. Diallo closed down by Bassi once again. Manchester United go backwards, and we will have a stoppage here because Harry Wilson has dropped to the ground and he's holding his left foot. Can't quite see what happened there.
No, I was going to say, I don't know whether someone trod on his foot or something, but he seems to be holding his foot in a little bit of discomfort.
And the whole Manchester United bench has come out to warm up. The layers are on. Somebody looks like they're wearing a balaclava. Actually, you can't entirely who it is. There's a few snoods.
Yes.
Everybody in gloves. It's not looking good for Harry Wilson. He's shaking his head.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. Shaking his head.
I think he'll probably be he's got a grimace on his face as well.
I think he'll be coming off.
It's not a good look this for Fulham, and Harry Wilson, who has had a good season so far for the West Londoners. 5 Premier League goals. Only Iwobi and Jimenez have more than him this season. We've just seen a replay which we think was the incident which caused it, and it's a little bit innocuous, really. Maybe the quick 1-2 with him in this, perhaps.
I think he must have caught the bottom of someone's boot or something as he went in to get the ball. That's all I can think of. He's definitely not going to carry on.
Medical team doing the universal symbol for substitution. It doesn't look good for Fulham here, and Harry Wilson. Looks like Adama Traoré has been called upon, so it'll be interesting to see whether it'll just be a like-for-like swap, and if Traoré will just go out wide to the position that Wilson's vacated.
I think that's what'll happen. And Traoré, we know that he's got unbelievable pace. His final ball sometimes lets him down. That's a good replacement.
Also, I was doing my research on the Fulham players. Typed into Google Adama Traoré, and you know when you get the autofill on Google, the first thing that came up is, how is Traoré so strong? Do you have the answer?
I have not got the answer. Probably a lot of gym work.
He has the tightest fitting Fulham shirt I've ever seen. In fact, he has the coaching staff assisting in putting it on. Adama Traoré onto the pitch with 52 minutes played here at Craven Cottage. Scored in the win over Leicester last time out. I think he probably would have been quite disappointed to be on the bench for this one after scoring the second goal at the King Power last weekend. Doesn't have the best of records against Manchester United. Only won 2 of his 12 appearances against the Old Trafford side. We're back underway with Matthijs de Ligt, gives it away to Sanderberger on the halfway line. Robinson gets it from the Norwegian. Lukic, Bassi, Diallo closes him down. Robinson, heavy touch from him, very out of character from the Fulham left back. So Manchester United have it back.
It's just not really taken off this game, is it?
It's very much felt like a Sunday evening game of football. Here's Højlund, once again dispossessed after receiving the ball into his feet, this time by Lukic. Iwobi back to Lukic, halfway line. Lukic, Iwobi, lovely linking up between the two Fulham men. That's not very good though from Iwobi, as he gives it away, but Diallo finds it. Smith Rowe couldn't win it back. I've seen Smith Rowe in this game too much either, really, to be honest.
I mean, and he's someone who can make things happen in the final third if you get him the ball in the right position. But again, also Fulham haven't really got him into the game.
Martinez floats one over the head of Castagna, looking for Garnacho, who chases his own knockdown, and for a moment there it looked as if Castagna had played Højlund into a goal-scoring opportunity, but for the intervention of Calvin Bassi.
Yeah, and he had to be on his toes there. Bassi just spotted the ball. Højlund was lurking, just got there before Højlund could get to the ball. Gives a throw in for Man United.
And he's really upped his game this season after his up and down first season in England, shall we say, Calvin Bassi. Looking solid this season for the Cottagers. It looks as if Manchester United are readying their first change as well. It looks like Joshua Zirkzee is preparing to come on for the visitors, as Højlund as well to hold up Anderson that time. Fernandes out wide to Garnacho, skips inside Iwobi. Oh, Mazraoui goes down right on the white line.
Just on the edge.
And Anthony Taylor points for a free kick. And to me, that looks like the foul was just outside the penalty area.
Yeah, and I think it was just outside as he comes flying in.
It is just.
It's about half a yard outside the box, isn't it? Very, very close to giving a penalty away.
Dangerous place to make a tackle like that. Timothy Castagna, why would you do that there?
There's no need to dive in as well.
Mazraoui heading towards the corner flag.
Yeah.
Now Manchester United have a free kick in a very promising position, and the trio who have stood over it, you fancy any of them really.
Yeah.
Alejandro Garnacho, Bruno Fernandes, Amad Diallo. All got a decent strike on them, but something tells me that the captain's going to pull rank here.
I was literally just about to say that. He's holding the ball, he's putting it down, eyeing up the goal. We know who's going to take this one.
And Garnacho has since left the scene of the crime as the crowd's reduced to 2. Manchester United attacking a waste segment in this second half. Hidden away in the corner here at Craven Cottage. It's a 4-man wall for Bernd Leno. No draft excluder. There's a 2-man Manchester United wall in front of the Fulham wall. It's Diallo and Fernandes who stand over this free kick. It's Fernandes, it's under the wall, and it goes into the side netting. And if they had the draft excluder there, that wouldn't have happened. Manchester United with their first attempt of this second half. And it's very, very close from Bruno Fernandes, but not close enough to test Bernd Leno.
If that was on target, it would have tested the goalkeeper getting across to his right-hand side.
A little bit of a nervy moment for Timothy Castagna as he watches the ball roll under his feet. Boost for Rasmus Højlund as he goes off here from the away end. Joshua Zirkzee on in his place. And there's also a change at the back as Lenny Yoro's come on for Matthias de Ligt. Well, that doesn't suggest to me like it's going to be a change of shape.
No.
Personnel for personnel.
Yeah.
The shape isn't working, Ruben.
He's not going to relent on that, on the shape that he wants to play. Manchester United manager.
Here's Mazraoui, gets there before Emil Smith-Rowe, and that ball will bounce out for a throw-in for Fulham, about 10 yards away from the corner flag down the right-hand side. As Mazraoui had to come across and clear that away. Oh yeah, Lenny Yoro has gone straight in as the right-sided centre-back of the trio, which is exactly where De Ligt was. And yeah, Joshua Zirkzee up front, leading the line, is the Manchester United number 11. There's Calvin Bassey on the halfway line, centre circle. Joachim Andersen. Zirkzee will close him down. The away end in a wonderful chorus in the away end. They've been the only consistently brilliant thing this evening so far for Manchester United, but that's a good pass. Bassey into Smith-Rowe, corner of the penalty area, left-hand side. Traoré away from Mazraoui in a flash. His cross is disappointing, and Yoro's first touch is to clear it away for a Fulham throw in 10 yards from the corner flag.
That's what Adama can do if he's one-on-one with him. He's going to get past you because his pace and power. Can he have the quality to have a decent ball into the box, let himself down there? But I'm sure he'll see him get in that position a lot more.
It's been his issue for most of his career, hasn't it? Traoré, his crossing ability is what's always let him down, and he never necessarily gets as many goals or assists as his brilliant physical abilities would suggest. But his goal against Leicester was an excellent strike, it has to be said, last weekend. Here's Garnacho tripped up in the middle of the Manchester United half. He's gone down in some pain here, Alejandro Garnacho, after that challenge from Castagna, who has to be careful. Putting a couple of those tackles now as a Fulham fullback.
And the referee's kept his cards in his pocket.
It's been a very uneventful game for Anthony Taylor. It's also been a very uneventful game, to be honest. Here's Sander Berge. Robinson down the left-hand side. We need to see more of him in an attacking sense if we're going to get a goal in this game. Traoré receives it from Robinson. Traoré ushers Ugarte aside, pokes it out to Iwobi, who I think was in an offside position. He was. A flag goes up against Alex Iwobi. I think he wanted the pass from Traoré, who just took that extra touch.
He did. I think he was looking, can he make a bit of room to have a shot? He's had a touch there and he's got closed down. It was Martinez that came in on him.
He actually stood on the toe of Lisandro Martinez, purely accidental from Traoré. He does look in pain as well, Lisandro Martinez. He has had issues with injuries throughout his entire Manchester United career. He's actually only missed 4 games in the Premier League this season, but last season had plenty of issues that kept him out. He's up on his left knee at the moment, Martinez, despite seemingly going down injured with a foot injury. He's now back on his feet and don't need the club doctor just yet.
No, I think I'm sure he's going to be okay. Lisandro Martinez.
61 minutes played, Fulham 0, Manchester United 0. Only one shot in the second half. That was the free kick from Bruno Fernandes. And Leno yet to be tested. Andre Onana with a couple of saves in the first half. Here's Bassi. Well won at the back by the Nigerian. Defenders definitely winning in this game so far. 3 centre-backs apiece for Fulham and Manchester United. Iwobi. Fernandes very solid in the midfield. Finds his midfield partner in Ugarte. He's got a man on. Didn't get the shout. Finds Xerxes. Holds off Anderson. Hoyland certainly couldn't do that.
No.
Here's Fernandes once more. Garnacho, central for Manchester United. Passes it back to the centre circle where Lenny Yoro gets a touch of the ball. Frenchman plays it to the Argentinian, Lisandro Martinez. Seems to be okay. He's got a runner in behind. Dallo made the move, but Martinez reluctant to make the pass. Finds his captain Fernandes. That's a good pass. Diallo, edge of the D, out wide to Mazraoui. Chance to cross here for the Moroccan. Mazraoui will chip onto the penalty spot, but that's all too easy for Anderson to head away. A full forehead on that. Diallo, back heel down the line for Mazraoui, who keeps it in. Marco Silva absolutely furious on his touchline that nobody tracked the overlapping Manchester United man.
Yeah, it's just tracking your man, just letting players run off you. The Fulham manager made his thoughts loud and clear there.
They can get animated, can the Fulham bench, as they prepare to make an attacking change here, Fulham. And Raul Jimenez, who's going to make way. And every change so far in this game has been positionally like for like, and it's exactly the same now as Rodrigo Muniz, the big number 9. On for the big number 7, and Raul Jimenez, who looks frustrated, and quite rightly. He's had a couple of sniffs at goal, but nothing to really get his teeth into. Garnacho, left side of the penalty area for Manchester United. Fernandes, poor first touch, and that meant the pass was bad as well. Muniz battling with Maguire. Strong stuff from the England man. Berger, well done him. Plenty of battling going on, and at the moment it favours Fulham with Iwobi down the right side. Crosses one into the box. Traoré's arriving. It's over him and Mazraoui. Robinson will get the leftovers. Left side of the penalty area up against Mazraoui. Crosses it with his right foot looking for Muniz. Finds Maguire's forehead. Traoré picks up the pieces again. Well won by the Spaniard. Manchester United back into their defensive shape. 5-4-1 is difficult to break down. Traoré holding off Mazraoui. Knocks Ugarte to the floor. Right-footed. Floats one in, looking for Muniz. Onana, I thought, wasn't going to come for that. He does eventually. And it's quite simple in the end. For the man in green and yellow tonight in goal for Manchester United. Long ball for Garnacho. He's not going to get that.
Yeah, it was just a floated ball in there. It wasn't whipped in from
Traoré.
Yes, yeah. It was just floated in there, which is easy for the Manchester United goalkeeper.
Catching practice, as they say. 65 minutes on the clock. Fulham 0, Manchester United 0 here at Craven Cottage on Premier League Live. Not much to shout about for Fulham in the second half. That Fernandes free kick, the only attempt on goal to talk about. Robinson, can he make something happen? Diallo is able to nudge him away from the ball and win possession back. Fernandes, back to Martinez. It's always going to be attritional when both sides have three, centre-backs dominating the game.
Yeah, that's right, and you know, it's got to the stage of the game now where you just don't want to lose the game.
Yeah, it's two mid-table teams contesting this one. Started the weekend in 10th and 13th. Here's Harry Maguire in the centre circle for Manchester United. It's these kind of games where in the blink of an eye they can spark into life. Maybe Garnacho can do that for Manchester United. He's forced backwards though by Castagna. Maguire. Remember, Manchester United have only lost once in their last 18 Premier League games against Fulham. Won here last season, 1-0, thanks to Bruno Fernandes and his late strike. Beat Fulham on the opening game of the season, you might remember as well. Against Joshua Zirkzee, who's on as a sub. And here's Garnacho. Back to Bruno Fernandes, pointing the Argentinian where he wants him to move. Fernandes catches Lukic, who wins the free kick after raising his foot a little bit too high. And Anthony Taylor will award a free kick to Fulham, just outside their own penalty area.
Yeah, he just waited a bit, Anthony Taylor, to see if he could play the advantage. There's no advantage. Called it back.
If you're Ruben Amorim, would you be happy with a point if this finished 0-0?
I think you'd have to be, especially the way Fulham have been this season. They've not really created anything, so looking at the game, I'm sure he'll take a point.
Pictures of Edwin van der Sar in the crowd here at Fulham. Former Fulham goalkeeper, former Manchester United goalkeeper as well. Was he at Fulham when you were
Yes,
player?
he was. What a goalkeeper. And we were talking about when keepers make mistakes, how he made a mistake and it was never his fault.
Was it your fault?
Yes, it was my fault. It was never his fault, and he was unbelievable. Not that he made many mistakes, by the way.
No, absolutely not. What was he like as a character?
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
A good laugh?
Yeah, great lad. Really was.
Yeah,
in training, he'd want to play in the five-a-sides and not be in goal.
Oh, would he? Every goalkeeper's got a little bit of that element in them, haven't they?
Exactly.
They all think they can finish as well. Would it have been Louis Sahar playing up front for you?
Yeah, Louis Sahar, yeah.
Again, another former Manchester United man as well, of course. 68 minutes played here. Fulham 0, Manchester United 0. Stanya's throw-in. Joachim Andersen bumps it off the boots of Alejandro Garnacho. And it is very much trench warfare at the moment. Both sides digging in deep and not giving an inch to the opposition. Nobody willing to gamble and roll the dice. There is options on the bench for both sides to change the rhythm of this game. Could also be a moment of magic, or it could be a horror mistake that settles this game, remember.
It just needs a moment, doesn't it? Just a moment.
Just a spark.
Yes.
Something to happen. It might happen now, actually, because Castagne's out of position and Diogo Dallo, I should say, moves into a dangerous position, but Zirkzee loses it. He's been brought on to hold up the ball better than Højlund and gives it away immediately. Traoré wants a free kick after coming together with Maguire, I think it was. I think it was Agate, but either way, play goes on. Fulham 0, Manchester United 0. And it's Harry Maguire with the ball at his feet. Zirkzee not allowed a moment by Sander Berger. Both Højlund and Zirkzee found it so hard today to get themselves into this game.
I mean, the quality of the game really hasn't been there today.
No, it's really been lacking, hasn't it? Still 20 minutes to go though. So we saw the Manchester United game on Thursday against Rangers, you know, all that action in the last few minutes. We could get more of that again this evening, so don't write this one off. In fact, Sammy's got in touch over on Twitter, who thinks this match will end in a draw. I can give you some very poor odds on that happening. Here's Iwobi for Fulham. Corner of the penalty area, danger here. The home side flooding forward. Castagna floated to the back post. Maguire's there, good defending from the former Leicester defender to nod it over the crossbar behind for a Fulham corner. And for the first time in the second half, Castagna's got forward into an attacking position.
Yes, he has, and he's got to the byline, chipped the ball to the far stick, and Muniz is just waiting to head it in, but Maguire, a brilliant defensive header.
Great leap, great bit of positioning that from Harry Maguire as we get the first corner of the game. That's how few attacking moments has been in this game. 72nd minute we're in now. Fulham corner. Goes towards the near post. Zirkzee goes up. Got there before Onana did. I'm not sure he heard the shout from his goalkeeper, but I'm sure he appreciated the effort from the Manchester United forward there.
Yeah, he had to get it clear.
If you're a defender and you hear a shout from keepers on a corner like that, are you just getting your head on it anyway?
I think you've got to. I think because if you duck at the last minute and then the goalkeeper fluffs it, I think play safe and get the ball away and argue later.
That's exactly what Xerxes did. No nonsense from the Manchester United substitutes. Ugarte, Bruno Fernandes, out wide to Diallo. That pass looked like it wasn't going to have enough on it, but he did get it. Mazraoui down the right-hand side. Bassi shouting for offside. He doesn't get it yet. Mazraoui. Good turn from Fernandes. Plays it inside, looking for the movement of Garnacho, but again, Anderson dominant at the back for Fulham. Traoré. Brilliant pace from Traoré. Wiped out by Manuel Ugarte, and that will be a yellow card for the Manchester United midfielder.
Yeah, he does well. Traoré goes one way, goes the other. Waited for the contact from Ugarte. And again, the referee was right on top of it.
Got away from Fernandes and Yoro instantly.
Yeah, he did.
You know what? It's probably not a bad foul to concede because there was a lot of players in that attack for Fulham and not many Manchester United players back to defend it. That's yellow cards for Manuel Ugarte. Scored his first goal for Uruguay against Colombia back in November, yet to get his first goal for his new club, Manchester United. A little bit of a limp, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say he might have injured himself in making that challenge. He's not moving quite gingerly at the minute.
They do have midfield options on the bench, Manchester United. Mainu, Collier, Casemiro, Eriksson. The man who's won 5 Champions Leagues just sat on the bench in the form of Casemiro. Bassi pulled back by Diallo, who tried to make the most of a mix-up at the back for Fulham. Waggles his finger towards the referee. It looks as if Manchester United are readying a substitute here. Just what is the change going to be?
It must be for Ugarte. I think he's moving okay now.
He's on a yellow card. Maybe he's thinking of that as well as the injury. Garnacho gets a lucky bounce the first time of asking, but not at the second. Castagna wins it back. Looking a bit tired now is Alejandro Garnacho. Here's Lukic. And wide to Iwobi. Back to Timothy Castagna. Looks as if Toby Collier is preparing to come on. But there's a hole here in the Manchester United midfield. Can Fulham make the most of it? Smith Rowe. Traoré strikes a goal. Puts everything into it, apart from the accuracy, as it flies over the top of Onana's crossbar. And there's a bit of pushing and shoving here with Lisandro Martinez. He wanted the ball to go out for a throw-in because there was a man down for Manchester United, but Fulham under no obligation to knock that out of play.
I mean, they're attacking. Ugarte goes down, and what does he want him to do? Stop the play and kick the ball out of play? It's never going to happen. So I'm not too sure what Martinez is going on about there.
Martinez complaining about the sporting nature of Traoré and then coming over and shoving him in the chest. That's a very sporting notion from Lisandro Martinez.
A brave thing to do as well.
It does look as if Ugarte's done in terms of this game, but good first touch from Traoré to get away from Yoro, and a strike on his right foot was going over. And if there's one man you don't want to get in a pushing match with, it's Adama Traoré. I think both of Martinez's arms combined aren't the same size as one of Adama Traoré's. But Toby Collier will come on. Another generation of talented Manchester United youngsters coming through this season. Actually made his debut back in 2022, did Toby Collier. This is 4th Premier League appearance of the season. Made his European debut in the win against Rangers. Only his 2nd start for Manchester United.
He looked accomplished as well, didn't he? He looked capable.
He did. Rio Ferdinand was full of praise for him on commentary the other night. And here's Smith Rowe. That's not a very clever ball for Traoré, but boy, he doesn't give it up. He gets there, just pushes aside Mazraoui. Bassi will have it back now. Leno, testing ball for Robinson, who sees it bounce off him. Manchester United supporters in the away end want a handball, they don't get it, and despite the efforts of Diallo, Fulham able to work it away. Traoré bounces off him this time. Not for a United throw in, 10 yards inside the Fulham half. It's more like it from Mazraoui, putting the pressure on the...
And Collier must give him so much confidence to come on when you see the players that are on the bench that he's put him on before. Let's give him loads and loads of confidence, the young lad.
And you look at the talent in Eriksson and Casemiro
and
Mainu scored the winner in FA Cup final.
And he's got the nod before them.
He's just going to slot in the midfield alongside Bruno Fernandes, and I'm almost certain there's a competition in the Premier League who can get away with the lowest socks. And I think Toby Collier might be the new leader in that competition. As Garnacho has it here in the penalty area. In goes Castagna. It's cut back, but it's a poor pass. Martinez shoots, deflection, and it goes in over Leno. Lisandro Martinez. He's done it again away from Old Trafford. And the away supporters cheer just like they did at Anfield, because Martinez has done it on the road again. A huge deflection sends it over the goalkeeper Leno, and Manchester United lead at Craven Cottage. Fulham 0, Manchester United 1.
Well, yes, it's that man Martinez. Because he got played out to him. He's had the shot. It's got to be all of 25 yards out. And Garnacho does fantastic on this, on the left-hand side. He comes out to him and he has a shot. A wicked deflection that takes it up and over Leno, leaving the goalkeeper really with no chance. He did get a hand to it, not enough to keep it out.
It's so unfortunate for Fulham, isn't it? Because we said it was going to be a stroke of luck or something brilliant that changes this game. And Martinez shoots, it hits Lukic's left foot. Leno at full stretch can only get a fingertip to it, and then it bounces in off the crossbar. When you looks in, and you can't say they deserve it. No, neither side deserve to be in front in this game. But Manchester United, down the years, they've always found a way to win, and there's still that life force in Manchester United. And they've proved it here.
The Man United fans are loving it at the minute.
Well, they've been shouting and chanting all night, and if anything, they've got the reward for their performance that the players necessarily haven't put in on the pitch. But it looked like to me like the chance had gone, because Garnacho's cutback was overhit and Fulham dealt with it, and Martinez just tried his luck, and his luck was in.
He did. He just had a first touch and just thought, I'm just going to have a go here.
Well, there's changes of foot now for Ruben Amorim as he looks to shore things up. Mainu and Malacia, I think it is, who are preparing to come on. We're going to get the change before this throw-in's taken, actually. Well, Alejandro Garnacho is the first number to pop up on the board. I don't think he'll technically get an assist for that goal because it was dealt with by the Fulham man, and then this Mazraoui is also going to go off. So it'll be Malacia going in at left back, I'd imagine, and then Mainu, I suppose, would slot into the midfield alongside the likes of Collier and Bruno Fernandes. But we shall see. He needs this, Ruben Amorim.
I do.
You can see him getting more and more stressed in every press conference that passes by. Berger. 10 minutes to go. Fulham 0, Manchester United 1. I always said we'll get a goal in this game. Always said we'll get a goal in this game.
Well, he needed a goal.
Definitely did. Bassi skips away from Amad Diallo. The Nigerian, left-footed to Anthony Robinson, up against the fresh Malacia. Berger. Manchester United with a back line of about 7 players at the moment. Iwobi tracked by Mainu. Fresh legs, 2 academy lads in the midfield for Manchester United now, with Collier alongside him. Lukic, Traoré. First time pass inside to Castagna, didn't give the 1-2, went back to Lukic. Iwobi Floats on over the top for Lukic. Edge of the 6-yard box, cuts it back looking for Muniz, but well read by Maguire once more. He's done well at the back today, Harry Maguire.
Yeah, he has.
Here's Bassey, he's done well as well, but not with that pass. Way too strong for Anthony Robinson. Manchester United throw just inside their own half on the right-hand side.
Yeah, Manchester United now, we're just going to put bodies behind the ball and look to catch Fulham on the counter.
Emil Smith-Rowe is coming off, and I'm surprised he's got through to the 82nd minute, really. Emil Smith-Rowe, he's really not influenced this game in an attacking sense at all.
No, he hasn't.
Sasha Lukic is also off. Tom Kearney will replace him. And Andreas Pereira, the former Manchester United man, of course, is on to join the midfield. And it's a pass back to Leno, which just about gets there from Anderson. United supporters thought for a moment that Diallo was going to get there. Xerxes waiting for it to drop. That allowed Bassey to come in and win the header. Yoro. Maguire closed down by Muniz. Fulham pressing high to try and win it back, but there's tired legs out there. And you can hear the chants of the away end. And who they're for? They're fully behind Ruben Amorim, the Manchester United supporters. That's a good pass by Muniz to Pereira. Traoré, flag stays down, up against Dallo. Traoré, who'd you fancy here? Onto his left foot, cuts it back, looking for the arriving Kearney. The substitute with his first touch. Robinson, left-footed, floats it to the back post. Traoré arrives! And it goes well wide of the target in the end. I think, in fact, Dallo nodded it onto him more so than Traoré connecting with it with his forehead. I think he might have connected with it and his might have connected with his shoulder in the end.
I think that's what happened as the ball got floated in there.
Not a convincing jump, really, was it?
No.
As we see a replay of the opening goal in this game. Yeah, Sasha Lukic, it's a huge deflection and the touch off the fingertip and then off the woodwork and in. There's 3 moments there where luck could have gone Fulham's way, but in each instance it went the way of Manchester United, who in all honesty they need a little bit of luck this season to get some results.
They certainly do, and this will be a massive 3 points on a ground that they've done really well at, at Craven Cottage.
Collier battling with Kearney. Once the free kick does the Scot, he's not going to get it. Kearney closed down by Xerxes. Manchester United in that 5-4-1 defensive shape once again. Fernandes playing on the left side of that midfield 4. Xerxes the lone forward. There's Berger. Pereira finds some space. He has Traoré in a runner. He'll cut it back in the way. Here's Lisandro Martinez. Claims of handball, but it didn't look like it to me. Pereira. Berger tries the incisive pass for Castagna. It was good vision, but the execution just a little bit too heavy.
Yeah, it was, Castagna there, getting forward at every opportunity on this right-hand side. It was Berger, it's just that weight of pass. It takes a little bit off it, then Castagna's in.
5 minutes of normal time remains. Fulham 0, Manchester United 1. Chance of Ruben Amorim comes from the away end. As we see the minority shareholders. That's Jim Radcliffe in the director's box here. He'll be pleased to know that his manager is the name on the lips of his supporters. Pereira to Kearney in the centre circle. Robinson leaves it for Iwobi. Robinson, Kearney. Good 1-2, but Yoro slides in. Good tackle out from Yoro. Had to get there because Robinson was in. If he didn't land it,
yeah, it was.
Concede the corner.
He read the 1-2. Yoro just got across. A good sliding tackle in.
Strong stuff from Lenny Yoro. This only his 10th Premier League appearance of the season. Broke his foot in pre-season, you may remember. On as a sub tonight. 4 minutes to go. Fulham corner. Pereira to take. Right-footed to the near post. Iwobi flicks it on. Who's there for the second ball? It's Terrell Malacia who's there to thump it away. And all the way back for Anthony Robinson and now Bern Leno. And if you're Marco Silva, this is a very disappointing defeat because they've not been second best in this game.
No, that's yes, they have, and now they've got a few minutes now to to throw everyone forward to try and get a goal back. But then in doing so, Manchester United could just break on them and catch them on the counter. But
they're just not looking like they're going to score at the moment, though, are they, Fulham? Here's Berger. Pereira, he's got some space now. And he's got support from Castagna, but too heavy from the Brazilian on his left foot. Holds his right hand up in apologies for the pass, but once again, vision was there, execution wasn't.
And it's happened far too often this evening with Fulham, getting into good areas, and it's just that final pass, the weight of pass, where a different weight of pass, and it could be the difference between creating a goal and not.
It's very much on the side of not, unfortunately for Fulham. As Dalot takes a throw in down the left-hand side, Xerxes goes up, just ushered out the way by Sander Berger. Tom Kearney, and wide to Anthony Robinson. Has a bit of space and managed to dig out across. Onana comes. Maguire gets his head to it though. Onana furious at the defender. Didn't leave that for the goalkeeper. Maguire with his hands out wide saying, "What did you want me to do? I dealt with the danger."
Yeah, and it was, again, there was no Fulham player really near it, but Maguire took it into his own hands, got the ball away. Have to defend this little corner.
We saw him misjudge that goal for Rangers in midweek. Harry Maguire wanted to make sure that didn't happen again. Pereira's corner for Fulham. It's a deeper one this time. It's glanced on and off the line by Collier. Brilliant defending from the youngster. The referee says no, it didn't cross the line. It must have been close because Collier was stood behind the line when he headed it.
It must have been very, very close.
Traoré up against Main, who shrugs him away. Castagna, plenty in white in the mix. One of them's Muniz! Oh, and he hits it into the ground and it bounces over the crossbar. And there's a huge celebration in red, and particularly focused on young Toby Collier. The 21-year-old saving Manchester United had the awareness to get back on the line, and he's in the goal. The ball isn't. Crucial position from Collier to save Manchester United.
He did really well just to get back on the line. He clears it away.
Well, Onana didn't have a man on each post, and Collier had the awareness to get back onto that far post.
And you see what it means to the Manchester United players.
Yoro and Dalot celebrating like it's a goal with young Toby Collier. Arguably his biggest moment in red so far. Listen to the away end. We're only a few minutes away from a memorable trip to the capital. Kearney, Iwobi. Fulham don't feel like they deserve to lose this game. Malacia stops Robinson getting it in. He holds his side in pain as Iwobi crosses it in, but there's no one there in white.
Yeah, and it's just the same old story with Fulham. Again, decent area. And he floats the ball. Makes it really easy for the Manchester United goalkeeper, who just sits on the ball.
But this second half, they've not made anything. That corner is their best chance by far and away.
Yeah, they've created nothing, Fulham. Puffed and puffed without really creating anything.
That's good from Xerxes. Good hold-up play. Fernandez out wide. He'll cross it in, deflects off Castagna, and Bassi has the awareness to let it go beyond Diallo and through to Leno. As we see, 6 minutes. As mentioned by the announcer here in Craven Cottage, 6 minutes to find an equaliser. Manchester United don't even look like they're going to be trying to play on the counter-attack. They are happy to defend.
Yeah, they're just putting bodies behind the ball now and saying, can you break us down? Limiting the space.
Castagna. Berger, it's so tight in that final third. Kearney shrugs off Collier, Manchester United's hero. Collier trying to get the ball off of Kearney. Bassi, that's a good pass into Pereira, puts it over the top looking for Muniz, but it didn't need to go over the top, it needed to go into his feet.
Yeah.
He'll go behind for a goal kick.
Again, good position, good situation, and the execution has let them down once again, Fulham. But it's a big 5 minutes now.
Yeah, 1 minute for 6
Manchester
played.
United.
Be a huge point for them. Remember, they've only won away once in the Premier League. That was at Manchester City, to be fair, but only won once on the road since mid-September in the Premier League. They've got a trip to Bucharest in the week, remember? So the perfect setup for that will be a win here in West London. Leno thumps it long. You know, they've got no choice now, Manchester United, as Muniz wins the header against Maguire. Second ball falls for Collier. There was a little bit of afters between Maguire and Muniz. I think Maguire just very smartly sat on Muniz when he dropped to the ground. Just keep him down for a little bit longer. Bassi, forward for Muniz. Martinez knocks him out the way.
Fulham a little bit desperate now, Fulham. Just getting the ball into the box, got a load of bodies in and around.
It'll be 5 games without a win at home after this one tonight for Fulham. Drawn their last 4 on the trot here, the most recent against Ipswich. They'd love a draw tonight now. Kearney. Bassi. Everyone back from Man United. Iwobi, corner of the penalty area, left-hand side, cuts inside. He'll send a ball to the far post. Traoré can't get there because Dallow's up in the air to nod it away. Castagna, 2.5 minutes of the 6 added on played. Iwobi, so little space to operate in. He'll flick it out for Castagna on the right-hand side for Fulham. Iwobi. Traoré, he's got to get this cross right. Traoré puts it towards the back post. Anderson will go up, but Yoro beats him. Robinson loops one in. Where's it going to drop? Muniz! Oh, that was the moment. Well, it was a hopeful cross from Robinson. And luckily for him, it dropped to the path of Muniz, who was rash and lacked composure at the crucial moment. And his manager, Marco Silva, looks to the heavens because that could well be it for Fulham. Are they going to get a better chance than that?
I think that's what it was, composure. As this dropped down to him, he's got a clear side to the goal. He's just got to keep it down, isn't he? And I think if he hits a target, he scores. He's looking for power. He just caught them. Underneath, the ball goes over the bar.
He had defenders arriving around him in the form of Martinez and Mainu. I think they probably put him off enough for him to rush that effort. But they look incredibly frustrated on the Fulham bench, and understandably, as Traoré takes a huge tumble over the back of Xerxes. There's a runner in behind here for Man United. Adama Diallo up against Bassi. Diallo does the sensible thing, heads to the corner flag. Mainu has it now. Tried to play it back to Diallo, but in the end gives it to Traoré, who will play it long because they need to move it quick here to Fulham. But Anderson, who's now playing as a makeshift forward, is leading the line for Fulham. Diallo, Manchester United looking for a second. Mainu, is this it for United? Diallo finds the corner, and Manchester United have done it once again. Craven Cottage is a happy hunting ground for them. A late goal again, and that away corner at the Cottage jumps into the air. Their supporters are going back to Manchester delighted.
Yes.
Their man, Diallo, with the second and the clincher. Fulham 0, Manchester United 2.
And it's that man Diallo who's just onside.
It's tight.
It's very tight. Little back heel. Mainu's involved as well. He hits it low and hard past the goalkeeper. But I did say that Fulham were going to, as they're coming forward, they're going to leave spaces at the back for them to catch them on the counter.
I think he might be offside here, Diallo. It looks like maybe it's right shoulder. It's so hard to tell.
It is hard.
You got a ruler?
I think his hand is maybe, his arms maybe keeping him onside. I mean, I don't.
It's impossible to tell
Castagna.
from the picture we're being shown here. Of course, the supporters on the ground have absolutely no idea what's going on. But by going off sleeves, I think his sleeve is just a little bit further ahead. Yes, Diallo offside. That second goal will not count. A Fulham reprieve. And it is a matter of centimetres. If that. Well, we've had it flash up on our screen. We've had it flash it up on our screen. Anthony Taylor has just been told. And it is no goal. Offside. Diallo does not have his 7th Premier League goal of the season. Fulham 0, Manchester United 1.
Yeah, and it's very, very tight.
I think there's probably still about a minute and a half to go here. We shall see. Here is Diallo. He just plays it long, and in fact he's got a runner here in Fernandez. Castaña's up with him for company. Fernandez. Diallo. Out wide to Xerxes. Manchester United need to go to the corner here just to waste some time. Diallo. Out wide for Mainu. Diallo back to Mainu. Flag stays. Doesn't stay down, it goes up. No. Well, it's got to go long now. We've had 97 minutes played in this game. Remember, there was 6 minutes of injury time added on. That's the away end, you can hear whistling. But there's still one more opportunity for Fulham to attack if they can move it quick enough.
They've got to get the ball forward, haven't they?
Here's Bassi. Into the Manchester United half. There's no options near him to pick out a cross. It just has to go long, and that's what he does. Muniz is the target, but it is way off target, and it will go behind for a goal kick. And I'm almost certain that will be the last of the action here at Craven Cottage.
Yes, I think it will, and it was Bassi who was there, didn't really have anything on, decided to put it in the box with no real quality again, and it goes out. I'm sure that will be it as the Manchester United fans are singing away.
They've not had too much to cheer about on the road this season, Manchester United, especially in the Premier League. But they will be celebrating back up to the northwest this evening. And there's the whistle from Anthony Taylor. A victory on the road for Manchester United at long, long last. It's been a long time coming, and they rode their luck at times this evening. A tense and steady game, we'll call it. Very few opportunities, but the strike from Lisandro Martinez deflected a couple of times before crashing in off the underside of the crossbar. That's the only goal of the game. The finish is Fulham 0, Manchester United 1. And this is how it happened. Garnacho has it here in the penalty area. In goes Castaña. It's cut back, but it's poor pass. Martinez shoots, deflection, and it goes in over Leno. Lisandro Martinez. He's done it again away from Old Trafford. And the away supporters cheer just like they did at Anfield, because Martinez has done it on the road again. A huge deflection sends it over the goalkeeper Leno, and Manchester United lead at Craven Cottage. Fulham 0, Manchester United 1.
Wicked deflection that takes it up and over Leno, leaving the goalkeeper really with no chance. He did get a hand to it, not enough to keep it out.
Herrera's corner for Fulham. The deeper one this time. It's glanced on and off the line by Collier. Brilliant defending from the youngster. The referee says no, it didn't cross the line. It must have been close.
He did really well just to get back on the line. He clears it away.
Traoré, he's got to get this cross right. Traoré puts it towards the back post. Anderson will go up, but Yoro beats him. Robinson loops one in. Where's it going to drop? Muniz! Oh, that was the moment.
He's just got to keep it down, isn't he? And I think if he hits a target, he scores.
Yeah, Fulham lacking here in front of their home support. But as we see the Manchester United supporters go over to the travelling end, a warm round of applause from the players to the supporters, and a warmer round of applause to those players from the supporters. And Rufus, they got the job done. You just got to say that, really.
Yeah, they did. You know, again, it wasn't, you know, a vintage game of football.
You know, to kind of be legs in midfield, get around Fulham, not because they'd had the goal by then, but then to clear it off the line like he did, to read the situation, it was a lovely moment for him and his family. But, you know, this is a good, solid United performance. They weren't brilliant with the ball. I thought Fernandez led the team as a captain should. He probed, he was probably their one highlight in terms of offensive players. And at the back, they were solid. Maguire was great. Martinez, very good. De Ligt was great till he went off. Obviously, he went off because probably a bit tired and the knocker got in the week. But United's second half was so much better, and they deserved the win.
Yeah, I'm with you. You said before the game you were surprised Mainu wasn't starting. I wonder whether he is 100% fit or carrying or not, but he came on. I think he should be starting just to beef up that midfield. Maybe there's a case for Collier starting as well, because he does give them legs. Maybe it's more of an impact as a sub. What they need, though, is a striker, because Højlund was virtually non-existent first half. Xerxes didn't really do enough. His touch wasn't great. His vision as well. There seemed to be no awareness, like pitch awareness. You know, the way somebody like Cesc Fabregas used to have the picture. He could close his eyes and know where everybody was on the pitch. There's none of that from a player like Xerxes or from Højlund as well. They need to be aware when they're holding the ball up where their teammates are.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough night for Højlund, but he's had a few tough nights at United. And Xerxes was brought in to kind of release him or give him some rest time and mix the games up and, you know, hopefully get one of them in form. Hasn't really done it either. So you have a massive problem if you're the manager of Man United. You've got two strikers who probably have got the confidence to lead this team in terms of offensive quality as a striker. And it's not just the goal-scoring part of it, it's the build-up, it's the link-up play, it's the power that you need in that position. And unfortunately, that is a problem. But, you know, they've seen this game out tonight. And, as I say, they've had a few good performances and something to build on for them. It's still a worry, though, if you're a Man United fan, because, you know, the goal difference and the amount of goals they get, they were vulnerable tonight. You know, they never looked like they was going to get a second or a third goal. So, you know, you're always vulnerable of getting a result to go against you. So, tonight was their night, but still a lot of issues there.
Yeah, I mean, this is not Man United that have necessarily turned a corner, but it is a first clean sheet in 14 games.
Wow.
All competitions for Man United. And it is a wow.
Yeah.
What we're doing is, and I don't know if this is the right or wrong thing to do, but you can't help it. You judge Manchester United, whatever season it is, in the context of their history of winning titles repeatedly and going deep in Champions Leagues, and maybe that's unfair on subsequent managers, but that's the way it is, because
but there's also, Adrian, you know, there is also the amount they spend. You know, it's, you know, they're right up there. It's not like the Fergie's left and now they spend less money. You know, they're 6th in the list or they're 7th. They're still top of the list or 2nd. They're right up there. And, you know, and it's their recruitment which has put them in this situation. It's nothing to do with the managers that have come and gone. Most of it is to do with the quality of individuals that they've selected to bring to the football club on contracts, by the way, and on money that is way above their station. Way above their station. And this is the problem that they now find themselves, where they got players. Look at Rashford's situation, where he has this excess wage that nobody else in Europe can afford, really. Even PSG probably can't do his money, and they're going to have to suffer that. So they're still going to loan this player out, who could possibly be their best defensive player, and pay another club for him to play for them.
It's crazy. Football's crazy, though, isn't it? From a Fulham point of view, I was going to say to you at half-time, will Marco Silva possibly regret the fact that his team didn't get an advantage in that first half, because they dominated, I felt, the first half. They had all the chances. United didn't really have any, but they couldn't get a goal from those chances. So I just felt that they may regret that, and so it proved. And I don't know why things were different. Was it because of things Man United did that stopped Fulham being as good in the second half?
Yeah, I thought Man United were quicker to the ball. Yeah. You know, and they were faster to situations that Fulham were creating. They certainly blocked up the right side where Robinson was coming down. Sorry, Fulham's left side and Man United's right side. Yep. They managed to curtail that. So, you know, Amorim done some good jobs at half time. He sorted out a few issues that were going on. But this, you know, I've seen Fulham win here a couple of times this year, and they wasn't at their best tonight. And I'll be interested to see Marco's interview after, because I think he will say we weren't as good as we normally were tonight. I think they were just off it.
Yeah, and make no mistake, stick with TalkSport. Me and Alan are going to be talking about this game and the rest of the weekend's football as well, and today's earlier games, including the Spurs defeat. But we will hear live on TalkSport from Ruben Amorim and from Marco Silva here at Craven Cottage after Manchester United have won by a 1-0, live and exclusive on TalkSport. As for the goal itself, I think Martinez has reacted really well to pick up a loose ball and fire in a shot. And yeah, it takes a deflection, but if you don't have that shot, you don't get the deflection. So I'm going to give him the credit for that. I'm looking at Leno, wondering, because it's travelled a long way and it's looped up a little bit, could he have stepped back and maybe got a stronger hand on it? He might think that, I don't know.
Yeah, you know, what I said in commentary, I sort of stand by, because sometimes with that particular shot, because it's got the deflection, it's taken a lot of pace off it, and it's dipping fast. And actually, if that pace had stayed on it and it was dipping like that, you only got to get a nick and it'll go flying over the bar. But it didn't have enough on it, enough pace on it, I mean. So his touch was just not big enough to take it over the bar. It's the underside of the bar and go in. Another point about Martinez was that his position. You know, he's left side centre-back, and that's where, in Mamarin's system, a left centre-back should be. There's an attack up the left-hand side, get yourself on the edge of the box. And he does that, and he gets his reward by taking a shot.
Yeah, and that was the goal that separated the two sides. Time now for us to pick our man of the match with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Man of the match on Talk Sport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever the mission, home or away, Enterprise helps over 120,000 people every day.
Interesting one for you, Alan Pardew. Who are you going for?
Yeah, well, you know, obviously, usually you go for the team that wants, and I'm going to do that. But a couple of shout-outs for Bassi. I thought he was terrific tonight for Fulham. Magnificent performance. And he's really come on as a player. And and I just want to highlight his name because he doesn't get a lot of mentions. But for Man United, Martinez was terrific. I thought about him. Maguire, I thought was terrific as well. But I'm going to give it to the captain, because I thought at least tonight he showed exactly what the manager was. You know, sometimes a manager talks up a player and then the player goes out and doesn't quite deliver what you've kind of given to him. You've kind of give him the platform. And I thought the manager's given him the platform and he delivered for him.
And what I loved about Bruno's performance was right at the end when United needed the ball at the other end of the pitch so Fulham couldn't attack. He knew how to keep hold of it. He knew how to carry the ball and just make sure that he found a teammate or kept the ball, and Fulham didn't get that ball. And that was so crucial at that stage of the game.
Yeah, and that's where great players can, see games out with just their quality. And you're quite right. There was a couple of moments he could have lost it or put it in the corner. He just played a little 1-2, got it back, and kept possession. And, it's all those moments. But even in the first half when they wasn't great, Man United, he still had a couple of ideas, still had a couple of nice moments. So, the manager can be very, very pleased with 4 or 5 of the players. And obviously the young kid who's cleared it off the line, that'll be their little hero in the dressing room. They'll all be getting around him and patting him on the back.
Will he be watching that over and over again, do you think?
Well, I'm not sure he will, but it's certainly something that will come up in training, I'm sure, in terms of ribbing him a little bit. Because, it'll be, and obviously this is live TV. It's not only live on the radio, but live TV. So, we highlighted around the world. And when you're a Man United player, it's great to have that kind of moment.
Yeah, and it was, as you said in commentary, Alan, it was just like scoring a goal because he'd saved what was a certain equaliser. What he's got is a job for life on the post at corners.
Well, he wasn't on the post. He actually read the situation because he's sort of taken a step into the goal mouth just to protect it a little bit, and he's got his reward.
Yeah, he has. That's Toby Collier with the clearance off the line, but it's Bruno Fernandes, our man of the match from today's game with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Man of the match on Talk Sport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise has vans of all shapes and sizes. So if you've got a plan, we've got a van.
We have with us the very best football writer, Henry Winter, busy writing his piece for the TalkSport website as we speak. You're going to be joining us through till 10 o'clock here tonight to talk about this game and the rest of the weekend's football, Henry. We look forward to it as well. Alan Pardew is also here as well. And we'll be taking your calls, 03717 223344, and your WhatsApp voice notes on the same number, 03717 223344.
Get to know the contenders for music's highest honor, from country to pop, rock to hip-hop, and beyond. The 67th Annual Grammy Awards nominees have their own SiriusXM destination, the Grammy Channel. For a limited time on SiriusXM 17. And at home on your phone, computer, Alexa, TV, or other internet-connected devices.
You've been listening to SiriusXM Sports. We now return you to our regularly scheduled programming.
Market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings. At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-625-4250. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process in ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-625-4250. That's 1-888-625-4250. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-625-4250.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-515-8832. 800-515-8832. 800-515-8832.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
What could you do with more confidence? More precision? Would you attack more pins? What could you do with the best combination of flight, spin, and feel? What could you do with a Titleist golf ball that best fits your game? You owe it to yourself to find out.
Man up, for heaven's sake, we've got a live Wednesday night Champions League football match. It's Aston Villa versus Celtic.
What a moment this could be.
Build up from 7 p.m, kick-off at 8 p.m. on Talk Sport.
Fabulous stuff.
Come on, get a move on. What else you going to do on a Wednesday night? Visit your granny.
We've got live NFL over on TalkSport 2 right now. The Washington Commanders face their divisional rivals, the Philadelphia Eagles, in Philly. The score is Commanders 12, Eagles 14. Later, around about 11:30, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs look to continue their attempt for a first ever NFL three-peat as they take on the Buffalo Bills. That's all over on TalkSport 2 right now and through the evening and through the night as well. To get TalkSport 2, just download the TalkSport app for free. You can swipe between TalkSport and TalkSport 2 or tell your smart speaker to play TalkSport 2. And you can read Henry Winter's latest work on TalkSport.com tomorrow morning. We're delighted to have Henry provide his big match verdict on TalkSport.com every Monday after a big weekend in the Premier League. And I'm pretty certain we can hear Henry now. How are you? You okay?
Yeah, I was just speechless earlier. It's been that weekend with some of the results.
It has, and to a certain extent, I think this game here at Craven Cottage was underwhelming in context, but vital for Man United.
Very underwhelming, and as you were saying in commentary, it almost required a scrappy goal to settle a scrappy game. But I agree with Alan. I just think that Manchester United raised their game in the second half. I thought Fulham were excellent in the first half. Anthony Robinson, if some of his crosses had been slightly more accurate, I think they might have had more rewards. But absolutely in the second half, Manchester United came good. And Lisandro Martinez, he has that. Not swagger, but he has that element that Manchester United fans love. They love singing about Argentina anyway, particularly when they played against England, the Manchester United fans. But Martinez, the butcher they call him, he's just got that. There's something about him. He's he's almost like an old school defender. Opponents know they've been tackled. And as Alan was alluding to it, that position he plays, the left of a three, he can be a little bit exposed. If the wing back is not sort of tucking back and keeping on him, he's got a lot of space to cover, but he's just got that spirit which Manchester United could do with more of.
And he's also got that kind of personality that rubs the opposition and the opposition fans up the wrong way, doesn't he? He's got that, he's kind of irritating. But obviously, if he's in your team and he's your player, Man United have always had one of them. Gary Neville, Roy Keane. It's
had about
trait.
11 in one team.
Yeah, there's a trait, and Leeds had a few. Do you remember that back in the day?
There was that amazing moment, wasn't there, when Ugarte was down. Fulham carried on. Traoré blasted over the bar. Lisandro Martinez confronted Traoré, then realised, hang on a minute, he is massive, and went straight over to Smith Rowe and confronted him instead. Which was a classic moment in the game.
They've got a bit of previous, those two, so it was no surprise. You thought, well, actually, if there was going to be any flare-up, it was going to be between Lisandro Martinez and Traoré. I think Martinez's last comment about Traoré, I think it was last year, was he needs to get in the gym. I think that's one thing Traoré probably doesn't need, actually, looking at the upper body strength.
We want your calls, 03717223344, Henry Winter, Alan Pardew, me, Adrian Durham, live at Craven Cottage after Manchester United's 1-0 win. One thing, before we get to the calls, one thing I'll throw at Henry, Alan, if you don't mind, is something you said during commentary in the first half, which was you rate Anthony Robinson as the best left-back in the Premier League, and I just thought, wow, what a great debate that is to talk about some of the terrific left-backs that there are in the Premier League. Alan goes for Anthony Robinson. Who would you go for?
I mean, Milos Kerkez, I think, has had a terrific season with Bournemouth, but absolutely, I would agree with Alan. You could actually argue that it's probably one of the best left sides. With Iwobi when he plays there, the two of them link really well. It's why Anthony Robinson is being linked with so many other clubs. I think he was at Everton, and Marco Silva actually released him. So, or certainly, he moved on when Marco Silva was manager there. But just look at him now. I mean, a reflection on Marco Silva's coaching, but also on a player who's absolutely hitting his stride.
Yeah. Any more thoughts? Any left backs you want to throw in? 03717223344. You can call us or drop us a WhatsApp voice note. Let's go to your calls. Dylan is a Manchester United fan. They've beaten Fulham here 1-0 live on TalkSport. Dylan, how you doing?
Hello, good evening, gents. I'm a little bit underwhelmed after that game. I'm really struggling as a Man United fan who goes to most of the games home and away to try and understand the logic in the way in which the club's been run and the sort of project that they've given Amorim to undertake. And I look at the team and how the team plays, and I'm not an expert by any means, but I've been involved in football a lot in my life, and you look at that team and you think that the formation with the three centre-backs kind of is giving the three centre-backs the possession of the ball for the majority of the game, so therefore they're the players who will have most of the ball during the game. And if you've got centre-backs who are not particularly good on the ball, with your Maguires and your De Ligt, what happens is every time you finally get the ball back, they pass it between themselves, and then they hit a long ball that they then lose possession. So I'm trying to figure out how this can change, because unless we completely change the formation, the team, by signing a load of new players, which we can't do because of the financial fair play, and it's unrealistic to sign too many players anyway. You look today, the players who seem to have the ball a lot in the game seem to be the technically worse players. So players who are defenders, because generally they're not technically as good on the ball as other players who have maybe made it as midfielders or wingers or strikers. So in the key areas of the game, in the key areas of the game when we had opportunities, the players who could pass the ball to our forwards were players who were not particularly brilliant on the ball. Mazraoui was in like an attacking right-sided position a few times where he got put through and he just couldn't find the pass. So the long ball's coming up to Højlund nearly all of the time, and it's almost impossible for him to control it. He's not playing well. His confidence is shot, and then you're kind of relying on two very young wingers to do something in a game.
Okay, Dylan, there's a lot to process and unpack there. So let's try and start it before we get to 10 o'clock. Let some others have a chance. Alan, what do you want to reply to that?
Well, most teams, the time that you're going to give the opposition is the teams, the players who technically are not the best. So you're going to give the centre-halves time on the ball, and that is part of his system, is that the centre-halves do need to make correct passes, and I thought their passing was okay tonight.
Isn't Maguire good on the ball?
Maguire is good on the ball, and actually, I can't remember what club he was at. It wasn't Sheffield, was it, before we went United?
He was at Hull, then Leicester.
Hull, beg your pardon, and Leicester, and on that left side he would come down that left side. And but now he's obviously through the middle, and he's protected a little bit more there. I don't see that as a massive problem for Man United. I think they've got players who can play the system. They need, obviously, to recruit. There's some big situations in that team that need changing. They've got some good young players that are coming through. Manu in particular, I like. Ahmad is obviously almost scored again tonight, which would have been amazing. But, there's still so much missing in this Man United team. Stop worrying about formation. Let's start worrying about having big players in the positions that Man United have historically always had.
Alan, do you think Dylan's got a point in terms of I take your point about the passing from the back, but do you think it's one of the reasons why Amorim has actually dropped Bruno Fernandes, who's actually better as a 10, a lot, slightly deeper, alongside Ugarte because of his passing range?
Yeah, I think when you play a system like that, you really do need. And like Kearney, who come on for Fulham, he does it for Fulham. You need a central midfield player who's going to come and get it off the centre-backs and make raking passes, short passes, mixing the game up. And I think he probably tried Fernandes in there tonight to kind of switch the play, open up the pitch a little bit. And he did to a certain degree, but it's not natural for him. I think that's a player that they need. A natural number 8, a kind of Bellingham type player. They need somebody in there who can really mix the game up, and that will free up Fernandes to go and play nearer the forward line, where he definitely technically is more an influence.
Dylan, great call, really good point as well, good debating point. Let's speak to Jill, who's also a Manchester United fan. Hiya, what do you want to say?
Hi Adrian, hi Pods. I speak to you and Madge a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, hi Jill, hi.
I remember listening to the call.
Yeah, hey, listen, I'm really happy. I am. That's an away win for me.
That's what I was saying. It was very depressing, Dylan. He's liven up.
for me, though, honestly, first half wasn't great. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Second half, I thought we showed a load of fight. Maguire, great. Bruno, captain for once, And when they were talking about seeing it out and holding the ball and everything, isn't that game management, Pods? Isn't that what we should be doing?
That's exactly what it is, Jill.
And
that's why we get you on, because you know what you're talking about.
It's fight. Collier off the line. It's fight. We know we've not got the right players, in the system where they should be. We know that. Give him a pre-season. Give him time. Give him some of his own players. If you watch Amorim, he kicks every flipping ball. He kicks every ball, and that's the manager I want, and that's the fight I want to see from my team. I'm dead happy, me. We're back, baby.
Good for you.
Jill, thanks for that. On time, Amorim said in the build-up to this, and I'll quote him, pre-season, creating something new with the players. I want them to know me in a different way, not always preparing matches with stress. I think it's important. It's the secret of teams. We don't have the time to do that. If you don't have that feeling, it's hard to win. I want to build something like that here, but we need time for that.
Yeah, well, that's such an important statement that he's made there, because as all managers, you all want to do the pre-season, because you can give your personality, you can give a bit of you to the players, rather than being in a stress situation in a game day, recovery, game day, and you're under pressure from the media, etc. You can't give a cool reflection of yourself, and you can't always get across to the group exactly the way you want to play. So you're fighting it all the time when you come in midway through, and I've had to do that almost every job I've had. I've had to go in at some point mid-season, and it's very, very difficult to get your implement your plans and your thinking into your lieutenants on the pitch.
It's probably no coincidence, Alan, that probably their best performance against Liverpool, they actually had a clear week where he could work with his players.
Absolutely correct, Henry. So, you get those weeks where you can get some work done and you feel more energised by that as a manager. But, he's coming to... I do feel for him, because I think he probably was targeted by Man United to come in the summer. And I think that was probably where, it was going, until Den Haag got to a situation where they thought they had to make the change, and they've had to parachute him in. And unfortunately for him, he's got a group of players that, are fighting for confidence, young players who've not found their Man United way yet. Sometimes you've got to find your way at a club. And like Manu's an example of that. He's not quite there yet, but he looks like 6 months' time we might be all going, wow, this is the next England number 4, number 8, or where he's going to be.
That's a man who was Premier League Manager of the Season, LMA Manager of the Year, Alan Pardew. Henry Winter is here at Craven Cottage alongside me, Adrian Durham, taking your calls. 03717 22 3344. Hassan, a Manchester United fan. What do you want to say, Hassan?
Well, look, it takes all sorts to come on TalkSport, and I guess I'm one of those people. Look, we're nothing but a rich West Brom at the moment, I'll tell you. And rich West Brom actually without money. I mean, lads, we bought Xerxes and we bought Højlund. I'd rather have Harry Redknapp's wife and Nico Kranjčar up front. Honestly, we're an absolute joke of a club, and it's not just the club itself, it's a business. We're flawed as a business. And I think to celebrate the way we celebrated on BT Sport, live interviews, players running around, we're 12th. We're on 29 points. What are we celebrating? And by the way, boys, you've made some amazing points this evening, but let me tell you something. We're Manchester United. We're supposed to be one of the greatest clubs in the world, are we not? And we're celebrating a 1-0 win, a deflected goal by Martinez at Fulham. What is
but what we're also doing here, and by the way, I will point out Tony Mowbray's West Brom won 5-1 yesterday. But what we're also doing, Hassan, is analysing the performance in the context of a new manager who's come in mid-season, who has a clear way to play and wants to implement that, is trying to do it mid-season as well. How well is he doing? Is he succeeding? Are the signs good? That's what we're doing. You can talk. Listen, there's a bigger debate to be had about the ownership of Man United and how it's run and how badly it's run. We get all of that. And you celebrate a win. Of course you celebrate a win. But I think, Alan, that we should be discussing how Amorim is doing game by game, seeing what's going on.
Yeah, and also Man United's an interesting project because obviously they had another win today because the government kind of green-lighted maybe the stadium development, that they're going to get involved in it, and perhaps do all the housing around the new the new stadium, and therefore the planning will go forward. So there's this great opportunity for Ratcliffe to take this club to another level, to a level where they've actually fallen behind. The water coming through the stands and the team not doing very well. It's a great opportunity, the situation they're in. They get a win tonight. No way could you call it a majestic, fantastic Man United win. It was a gritty, as Jill said, a gritty, dogged, backs against the wall, see it through win. And it's a good night for Man United. Just have some Man United callers who are happy.
It wasn't majestic. It was ordinary Kev, wasn't it? That's what it was. It was an ordinary Kev win.
Yeah.
Well, he'd take one of those right now. Mark is a Manchester United fan. I think you want to talk about Rasmus Højlund, Mark. In fact, we'll come to you in a second. Let's go straight to Joe Shannon, who's with Ruben Amorim.
Yes, Ruben Amorim, the Manchester United head coach, is with me live at Craven Cottage. Ruben, how pleased are you with the result and the performance?
The result was better than the performance. We had some difficulties to connect the game to reach the final third, but I think also Fulham had a lot of struggle a lot to play his football. So it was a game divided, not so beautiful for the fans. But in this moment, we need to win, to have that feeling, because without time to train, sometimes just the feeling of winning can give confidence to the players, and the players can perform better. So today was a very good result.
How significant is the clean sheet and the performance off the ball today?
It's really important, because we can see from the last games, when we have more time to understand the game, we don't suffer the game, we are more in control, we can divide the game and we can win games. So that is really important for us, and today you can feel it. We control the game, sometimes not with the ball, but Fulham didn't create some chances, and then we tried to find a way to score a goal, and in the end we had a little bit luck in the shot of Lisandro, but this feeling is really important, and 3 points is really important for us.
And that's twice that he's scored important goals for you in recent weeks. Did you always feel that at least one chance was going to come for you before the end?
I think that when you have talented players, you will always have one chance. So we need to give time for that chance to come, to score, and then we are more comfortable in the game, and today was that situation.
It was a great header off the line from Toby Collier, but that, as well as that, how important a player is he to your squad at the moment?
Yeah, it's important because he has the legs, and that is really important, and then he works a lot, and I think we are in the moment that we have to give to the players that works a lot some chances. and so he's doing everything right. You can feel that he has a lot to improve. He has to calm down with the ball, like a lot of players, but he don't have a lot of time playing for Manchester United in this, and it's hard. The play that he did in Save Us, he did it on training. So if you do the right things on training, maybe on Sunday you can save your team. And today he saved our team because he does the right things.
It's been another very busy week for you, and when you think about where you were last weekend after the Brighton game, how pleased are you with the mentality of the players?
Of course, when you win, everything looks so much better. But I can see that we have a lot to improve. But the response of the players was really good because you can see it, the fight was there. Maybe in some moments the football was not there, the performance, but the fight was there, and that is key in this moment.
Ruben, well done. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
There you go, Ruben Amorim, the Man United manager, live with Joe Shannon on TalkSport here at Craven Cottage. United have won 1-0. He was very pleased with the clean sheet, Alan Pardew, wasn't he?
Yeah, but I think I always enjoy listening to him. He just has a nice kind of way of putting across the story of his team, and you know, he's an intelligent guy. You can tell that, and I thought everything he said actually was what I see. You know, sitting from here, and you know, they made it difficult for Fulham to create chances, and they've gone on and won the game. And actually, you know, the importance of just getting wins. You know, it's difficult to kind of give that measure unless you've been in a dressing room situation from Monday to Friday. You know how important just a win is. So you know, the value of that, don't underestimate.
And his comment, Henry, that I'll come back to you on this. Let's go back to Joe Shannon, who's with the Fulham manager Marco Silva.
Yes, Marco, with me now. A close game, Marco. What did you make of it?
Yes, a close game, as you said, but I think the team that tried more to win the game was ourselves. I think our first half was a good first half from us on the front foot. The team that were more dominant and the team that created more as well. I don't remember one moment from Man United first half that the ball arrived in dangerous areas. Really, we had some good moments. You should have been more clinical in that moments to punish them, because if you are on the front foot and if you are able also to make the ball arrive in attacking areas of the pitch, you should have taken more from that moments. And if someone has to be leading the score at half time, it has to be definitely Fulham for the way you play and the way you dominate the game. Second half slightly different, I think, well more balanced. Not one team or the other took the control of the game, and when you consider a really lucky goal for Man United, the first shot on target from them on the 78th minute, I think speaks about the game. Really lucky, a deflection. Should have reacted much better with Rodrigo in that moment, but really lucky. And after that moment we did react difficult with them really low, with the block really low, with 10 players around the box. Even so, we had a great chance with Anderson, that the clearance on the line of the goal, and two good moments from Rodrigo to equalize the game again. That is the reality, I think, for what we produce throughout the game and what Man United produce. I think the result is really unfair for us, and if someone has to win the game, I really believe that much more Fulham than Man United. At least the draw we should take.
Was it frustrating that in that first half in particular, where you had lots of good possession, you moved the ball quickly, that you couldn't quite break them down?
Yes, it's a frustration for us, because the plan was there. We make the ball arrive so many times in the players that we want. We didn't give any chance for them to press us high like they wanted. We beat always the pressure, but the reality that when the ball arrived in certain areas, we were not able to put the ball in the net, or even to create more clear chances in that moment, to break them down, as you said. And for us, it was really difficult to. If you don't, when you are in the front foot, if you don't break them down, you don't punish them, it's going to be more difficult.
And the goal, as you said, was their only effort on target. It took a deflection as well. Are there positives in that you restricted Manchester United so much through the game?
Of course, we have to take positives, and when you are dominant in the game, when you don't give many things for them, and you create more chances, of course, is always a positive to take. But you know, the results, they speak louder as well. Now is a difficult moment for the boys inside the dressing room. Let's recover them and to prepare them for the next one.
How important is it that you bounce back quickly?
It's important. We have been doing that. We have been able to bounce back every time for some reason we don't get a result, and let's hope we can do the same next week.
Thanks, Marco.
Thank you.
Marco Silva live with with Joe Shannon here at Craven Cottage, and he can be disappointed with that, the fact that they weren't in front at half-time. United offered nothing really in that first half, and that will be a worry for Amorim, but also a concern for Marco Silva that they couldn't make that dominance count.
Yeah, I thought it was a slightly biased conversation, really. I thought, he's talking his team up, obviously, and disappointed. And I've been there, so I know that's, the job. But, the truth of it was they did have 3 great situations down this left side. And the player that telling you is the best player at the left back in the league let us down with a couple of poor deliveries, and one certainly where Jimenez should have scored. So if he'd have got the pass right, Robinson, I think Fulham